11 years ago, Boston College took on West Virginia, a chance to knock the Mountaineers out of a New Year's Day bowl game. The final heave of BC fell short. The Big East title stayed in Morgantown.
And every play can win the Big East championship.
Today, the 8-1 Mountaineers are ready with a chance at an outright Big East title and a BCS bowl berth.
You know the game plan, right? Play fast, play hard, play smart.
This is the home of the Mountaineers. There's a place outside called the Pit. Only the brave need enter for tailgating purposes. They are there today. They'll be here momentarily. It'll be Boston College, ranked number 23, against West Virginia, ranked number 13. This is a chance for both of these teams to have a real shot at the Big East title. Who's going to claim it? We're going to find out today. To the Iron Man in New York and John Saunders.
With less than a month remaining in the regular season, college football has become a survival of the fittest. Later today, we'll find out if the upstart Virginia Cavaliers have the stamina to hold off ACC newcomer and perennial powerhouse Miami. Others will see if Wisconsin can maintain the focus required to continue their undefeated run. Texas A&M and Texas Tech will test their endurance in a battle for bowl positioning. And others will be in the Pac-10, where UCLA and Oregon are fighting for their postseason lives. But coming up next, it's the West Virginia Mountaineers, who have reigned supreme in the Big East. But one false step could cost them everything. Who will demonstrate that championship fortitude? We'll find out next on ABC Sports.
And welcome to the Ford pregame. John Saunders, Craig James, and Aaron Taylor here. We know this much. Boston College, this is their final year in the Big East. They're headed to the ACC. After that, can you explain to me exactly what the implications are as far as that automatic berth?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. You know, we were talking about this thing, but it's really one of those things where if Boston College wins, then they have pretty much their own destiny in their hands. But they have to have a little help from the polls because they have to be within 5 spots of West Virginia in the rankings at the end of the BCS deal. In other words, it's going to be crazy towards the end.
Well, I only went to Notre Dame, so that's a little bit above me. But what I do know is that West Virginia controls their own destiny. If they win today, they're going to be in the mix, and they'll lock up the Big East. And one of those players helping them do that is quarterback Rashid Marshall. What a dynamic player this guy is. He gets it done with his legs and through the air. He's already the all-time Big East leading rusher for quarterbacks, passing some guy I think named Major Harris, some guy, but he only needs about 115 more yards today to pass Major Harris, also in passing. So very, very exciting quarterback, and he'll need to be against a very good BC defense.
We know this much now. West Virginia, they win out, they're going to be in a BCS game. It's coming up.
Even he's
continuing the tradition.
Here he goes. See you later. And he's got it. Touchdown! Touchdown!
ABC Sports, Championship Television.
Let's have some fun. Let's leave it all out there. Leave it all. Don't play tennis. Play loose. Get after them. Play West Virginia football. The bottom line is, for 60 minutes, we're playing Mountaineer Field. Mountaineer football. Mountaineer football for 60 minutes. That means when you play West Virginia University for 60 minutes, take your shoes up a little tighter, put a little more tape on, a little more air in the helmet, and you better do what?
Just moments ago, Coach Rich Rodriguez, the Mountaineers, heading out to the field and maybe to a Big East championship. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. A lot at stake here in this game. Both Boston College and the Mountaineers an opportunity to move on to a BCS bowl berth. And Cunningham, this is what we hope for when you get to this point of the season. Go out on the field and lay it out there.
Well, we get to see the best against the best today as well. West Virginia offensively the best in the Big East. Boston College the best defensively, led by 2 dynamic players. Defensive end for Boston College, Matthias Kiwanuka. He is second in the Big East in sacks, has 2 interceptions, 1 return for touchdown. And Rashid Marshall, the most dynamic offensive player in the entire Big East. He does really well throwing the ball down the field, but the key for him is reading in the run game. They're going to try to get him on the edges.
Beautiful day for football and a lot at stake. And for 22 seniors, it's going to be their final game here at home. The last home game for the Mountaineers isn't the one that will wrap up a Big East title. We're about to find out.
Can you hear me now? Good. Now. Good. Can you hear me now?
A crowd will be on hand here today in West Virginia for this final home game, and what a matchup for these two teams who in the preseason were favored in the Big East. Well, in this case, it actually comes down to these two teams for the Big East championship. Let's check in downstairs with Dr. Jerry Punch. Doc?
Thanks, guys. You know, Boston College head coach Tom O'Brien is a graduate of the Naval Academy and a former Marine Corps officer, so it shouldn't surprise anyone that the words he used to his team in the locker room moments ago included discipline, commitment, and sacrifice. He talked about this day belonging to the team that was not only strong but smart. Today, he said, to win, we must have muscle, but we must be mentally tough. Mental toughness is what it takes to win when you go to a hostile environment, and this one today, indeed, is a hostile environment. Guys?
This is the team, of course, that's not going to be in the Big East after this season, ACC, so Ed, that just adds a little more.
Well, it's not just West Virginia that's rooting against Boston College today. Every single school, including the ones that will join Cincinnati, Louisville, and South Florida, are all rooting against Boston College as well.
All right, West Virginia won the toss. They deferred. Boston College will get it. It is going to be a short kick coming down at about the 20-yard line. Will Blackman is the man who's a great return artist, and there you see him bringing it up to midfield. And this could be a real difference in this game. Blackman averages on kickoff returns almost 30 yards a return, and that time 33. Let's take a look at who we're going to have at the quarterback position. Boston College is led by Paul Peterson.
He said something to Coach O'Brien midway through the Notre Dame game where he played sensationally in the second half. And there's a penalty on offsetting on both of these sides.
First down.
Play it right from where it was, but Peterson went over to Coach O'Brien and he said, Coach, there must be times that you really hate me because this is a young man who takes a lot of risks. He's very confident in his arm. He'll try to fit the ball in. You saw the interceptions a little high, and that's exactly what West Virginia's going to try to do in their 3-3-5 alignment is make this guy throw some picks.
What great field position, though, as they are in Mountaineer territory at the 47. It'll be Everett Lee and Whitworth in the backfield, two youngsters. Wide receivers each way. Peterson's shot drop comes to the flats, caught at the 40-yard line, and out of bounds shy of a first down. Grant Adams, their leading receiver, hauls that one in for an 8-yard gain. Let's take a look at the starting lineups today, brought to you by Outback. Backs and receivers. Got some youngsters.
Grant Adams, the guy that they're really looking at. Nice one-handed catch. And this offensive line, one of the reasons Boston College has not been great this year running the ball, what everyone is used to, is because everyone's been injured.
All right, it'll be a second down, short yardage, second down and 2. They come back the other way on the reverse, and that will be close to a first down. Not quite Joel Hazard. A gain of 1, and boy, it looked like Adam Jones moved in a hurry and made the tackle. Defensively, very tough. Ben Lynch, one of the leaders out of Oil City, Pennsylvania, will be out there for West Virginia. These linebackers have to play both the pass and the run against Boston College today. And in the back, keep an eye on Adam Jones. A lot of tackles if he's having a good game.
And he's the guy that Boston College has to be very careful about. Pac-Man, as he's called, will play underneath and try to make some big plays, and he'll take it the other way for a touchdown.
First big play, third down and 1. They're going to pass it into the flats, wide open. That'll be brought inside the 30 by Everett Lee out of the backfield. Lee, a senior, hauls that one in on a 3rd and 1. They went to the air. And that's an 11-yard gain for Boston College.
Well, and this is a really nice call by Dana Bible. As Everett Lee goes, it looks like he's going to block the blitzing outside linebacker. That time, Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator, decides to bring some pressure, and Dana Bible, the offensive coordinator on the flip side, makes a really nice call and gets the fullback into the flat.
Little stunned early here in this first drive by BC as they're handling the football pretty well. The fake, trying to run with it. Peterson looking deep. How to get rid of it. Does to the tight end. 24, 20-yard line almost, as Dave Kashida, who's playing with a bad knee, had a lot of room over the middle. He'll be shy of a first down, but that could have been a loss.
And this is why Paul Peterson, remember when he came into the season, he was working against Quentin Porter, who was the starter most of the year last year. won the job, and a lot of it had to do with his feet. Peterson very active, and that did look like it was going to be about a 10-yard loss. Ended up being about a 6-yard gain.
Peterson, 60% completion rate coming into this game. 3 receivers, only 1 in the backfield. They take it straight ahead, looking for the first down to the 15. A good second push, 5-yard gain. And that's going to be L.V. Whitworth, making just his 3rd start of his career, just a freshman.
Well, you had mentioned earlier when we were looking at the lineups that all kinds of backs for Boston College have had to play. Whitworth was the guy that really was the only one with any type of experience coming into the season. He got hurt. They had a couple of other guys get hurt, so it's been rotational backs, and now this offensive line finally settling in. They're getting a little push early.
They've had 2 first downs in this drive. This is going to be a 1st and 10. They're at the 16-yard line. Peterson looking. The slant incomplete. Boy, he almost hurt his own player right there. Deflected by Nochel. Adam Leonard, middle linebacker position for West Virginia. How do you stop him?
I think we just got to get Peterson out of his rhythm. I think when he gets into a rhythm, he can move his feet, run up, throw the ball where he wants, throw the ball when he wants. I think he's real effective. And I mean, he's definitely their leader. So we got to get to him, harass him, and get inside his head and take him out of his game. And I think the rest will just follow with that.
Peterson has started out strong here. This is going to be a 2nd down and a 10. Again, the 2-man backfield. Run it straight ahead to the 10-yard line. And I'm telling you, these backs who have not had great games of late, Whitworth being one of them, got a 6-yard gain. Lenore put the hit on, but they're charging.
And Whitworth got this start at the first game of the season and hurt his knee. Went out and they had to bring Andre Callender in. He hurt his groin against Wake Forest, so they had to bring A.J. Brooks in. But the guy Whitworth, because of experience right now, he's doing a really nice job. The front side hole's not there, but Whitworth being very patient, and Lenore, the middle linebacker, is kind of over pursuing, and that's where the yardage is.
Boston College has had just 67 yards rushing average in the last 3 games. They've got more than that here. Screen, wide open end zone, touchdown! That is Whitworth on a screen to the left, to the tailback, and Boston College is on the board. What a shocker here in Mountaineer land on this first impressive drive that started on the 47-yard line.
And this play set up because of the play action. Because right now, all of the linebackers for Boston College are dropping into coverage because there was no play fake. Boston College decides to go with just the straight screen, and it's a great call by Dana Bible. That's 2 calls on that drive alone that Dana Bible, really nice job play call.
And the kick by Alger's up and good. And for Boston College, a tremendous first offensive series, and they lead it. Let's take a look at our Chevy Trucks drive summary, Ed.
Well, Will Blackman got it started with that big return over midfield, the short kick, trying to keep it away from him. But Paul Peterson has done such a great job. Of those 8 plays, 5 different people touched the ball. There are 9 receivers on this team coming into the game with 10 or more receptions. And now they found a guy, Whitworth, that looks like he might get it done in the backfield.
That's his first touchdown catch of the year, making his 3rd start, as we said, in the backfield. For Peterson, his 14th touchdown pass of the season, and Boston College takes the early 7-0 lead. We'll keep in mind during this series that West Virginia leads in the series overall, 21 wins, 10 losses, and a tie, and they have won the last 5 games they've played against Boston College here on their home field.
And we heard Adam Lenorth, the middle linebacker, say they wanted to get Peterson out of his rhythm. They only really got to him one time. Peterson got away, but that last screen there, they were just completely out of sorts on defense for West Virginia.
Adam Jones and Von Rivers will be back deep. That one is going to be a fairly short kick again to the 20-yard line. Fumbled, and West Virginia trying to get it back did, but that was close. Bobby Hathaway, who was up short, had to fall on that one, and you could tell just by his initial reaction there were going to be some real problems on that one. Well, we've seen one quarterback go to work. Let's take a look at the other. This is Rasheed Marshall. This is one of the 22 seniors playing his final home game.
And in his last few ball games, he has been on fire. 30 of 44, 483 yards, and 8 touchdowns against only 1 interception in the last 3 games. He's number 7 in the nation in passing efficiency. They don't throw it a lot, but when they do, this young man is very efficient.
They are 4th in the nation in run offense and 1st in Big East. But they go against a very tough defense. This is what he likes to do, mix it up, completed at the 25-yard line. They faked one way, came the other on the intercept for about an 8-yard gain. All of these people participate offensively.
And Pernell Williams, a true freshman. KJ Harris, the big back. Williams, a young man that they didn't expect to play, but he is so good in this spread offense. And up front, a very experienced offensive line. The guys in the middle have all started over 20 games. They'll have their hands full today.
2nd down and 2. Short yardage carry to the near side. That'll be taken over the 30. Bouncing once, Jason Colts, or KJ Harris, rather. And that is the leading runner for the Mountaineers. He gets 7, and he gets a first down. Take a look at the outback lineup. This is a front 4 that will be tested.
And the thing about this front 4, it allows them, the defensive coordinator, Spaziani, does not have to blitz his linebackers very much. Toll, a true freshman, very good. And on the back end, this team loaded with cornerbacks. Williams and Tribble get the start, but you're going to see plenty of Peter Sheehan and Will Blackman, who was fighting the flu earlier, so they'll be able to rotate a lot of corners.
They work out of the shotgun. They work a hurry-up offense. He can carry the football to midfield to the 15. He's into Boston College territory. Rasheed Marshall is one of their leading rushers. DeJuan Tribble put the hit on an 18-yard gain.
Such a special quarterback for Rich Rodriguez. This offense that goes all the way back to Coach Rodriguez's days as the head coach at tiny Glenville State right up the street. They put this offense in, work it almost exclusively out of the shotgun, and you go back to his days at Clemson when they had a guy named Woody Dantzler. A lot of these running plays developed when they had Woody Dantzler at Clemson, and he was the OC.
1st and 10, the better the play, the quicker the next play. That's going to be brought up to the 40-yard line. Harris again on the carry. Wow. And they've got their running game going, and that's when they are at their best. Tomorrow, don't miss the 2004 MLS Cup. It'll be Team Phenon Freddie Adu and the DC United. It'll be the championship game for a record 5th time. They take on the Western Conference Kansas City Wizards tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern, here on ABC. Trying to get anything in sideways when the football is controlled offensively by West Virginia is almost impossible. They have three levels of fast. They've got a 2nd down and a 2. That'll be carried into that strong defensive line of Boston College. Maybe a 1-yard gain for Williams, shy of the 1st down. Let's check in with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Guys, talking about the 3 paces of this no-huddle offense, they have a normal pace, which basically means they want to snap the ball between 8 and 12 seconds on the play clock, maybe down to 10 so they can have some shifting and shuffling. An Indy set, they want to snap it with 12 to 15 seconds on the clock, and their quickest set is called the jet. ASAP, they say 18 plus seconds on the clock or 20 or above if they can. 3 different paces to deal with today in a no-huddle offense.
This is a 3rd down and 1. First man through is hit in the backfield and thrown for a loss. We'll hear a lot today from Kiwanuka if he is on, and he was right there. Denies them the 1st down quickly after the 3-yard loss. West Virginia tries to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like West Virginia going for it on 4th down. I like this call. And look, again, they're backing way up. Marshall may be in a quick punt.
Looks like a
situation.
Quick punt from midfield. Nobody back for Boston College. They don't believe it. He does get the kickoff. And let's see if it takes a bounce for West Virginia. It does.
Great kick.
It'll go down to the 6-yard line.
Number 2.
So they try to quick that one even a little more so than they got. It's a 35-yard kick. More importantly, though, is the positioning of the football. Boston College takes over. The Eagles leading it 7-0. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months at American Revolution. Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper. The Hartford Mutual Fund's official corporate partner of the NCAA. And FedEx Kinko's, your one-stop copying, printing, and shipping. Morgantown. Mining town originally, manufacturing town, a very big college town now. And about 60,000 of the folks on hand here today to see the Mountaineers, who will drive Boston College back to the 5-yard line to start this drive.
Great strategic call, I thought, by Rich Rodriguez. It looked like they were going to go for it. Boston College stayed in their defense, and a really nice kick by Rasheed Marshall to get it down to the 5.
Only one set. That is Whitworth. He's 18 yards behind the quarterback. There he is with a carry, trying to get some charge, and he did. He'll bring it up to about the 11-yard line before the hit put on by Jericho. A 6-yard gain.
You know, yesterday when we sat down with Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator of West Virginia, even though Boston College this year is not like in years past where they have over a 1,000-yard rusher, and that's the main part of their offense, he was still concerned about the matchup up front. Kind of undersized. Their nose guard's only 280 pounds. And this offensive line of BC all over 300 pounds. He's very concerned about that.
Whitworth again out of the backfield. The youngster trying to go sideways, and there is no room, and he's going to be thrown for a loss. He got swamped over there. Lenore, who had 58 tackles coming into this game, got to him, and a loss of 2. Let's check in with Jerry again. Dr. Punch.
Well, Gary, that opening drive a moment ago answered some critical questions that Tom O'Brien had about his offensive line. Finally, for the first time since early in the year, they were all healthy, but could they protect Peterson? Could they punch a hole in this very athletic defensive front for West Virginia? They did it in the opening drive. A little more comfort now on the Boston College sidelines about the ability of the guys up front in the BC uniform.
This is going to be a 3rd down and 6, 2 for 2 on 3rd downs in their first drive. The ball's at their own 9-yard line for the Eagles. Again, Peterson back over the middle, complete at the 20 and up to the 24-yard line, and a first down. Grant Adams made the catch. He's had a couple here in this game, and for Boston College, another first down. And they're getting it done here in these tough situations.
And that's just a great route by Lester. As he came in, he's running essentially a quick, skinny post. It's not really a slant. And Pac-Man Jones looks like he's in either, it looked like about a cover 2 because he's forcing the receiver to the inside. And as Lester got by him, he got away from the inside help, and a nice throw by Peterson.
Lester playing in his 5th game of the season. First down and 10. Peterson drops into the pocket. Off-balance throw is going to be incomplete. Wanted to charge there for interference. Will not get any. Good play by Jeff Nochel, who moved in and put the hit on. Well, great to have you with us here in Morgantown. ABC's coverage of college football, a very important game for Boston College and for the Mountaineers. This is about the Big East title, up for grabs here in this game. This is also about a BCS berth postseason, up for grabs.
Well, we could go into the math, but you almost need a doctorate. It's safe to say that if West Virginia wins this game, they will represent the Big East in the BCS. We could go into the formula, but it'd take about an hour.
Whitworth again on the carry, and you maybe have a couple of yards. It's giving 4 on that. Didn't have a lot of running room. And the tackle made by Dykes. Here's a look at the BCS standings brought to you by Allstate. There's your top 5.
And the team that you really need to look out for is Auburn. If they win out, they've got a big one today against Georgia. If they beat them and then beat Alabama in an interstate rivalry, that Alabama with the best defense, and then go to the SEC championship game, it's hard to say that Auburn will not be playing in the Orange Bowl for the national championship.
3 receivers, all near side. 3rd down and 6. They're 3 for 3 on 3rd downs. They're not anymore. Peterson had nowhere to go, and he gets taken down at about the 21-yard line. A big rush put on, and Craig Wilson, a sophomore, defensive tackle, throwing for a 6-yard loss. That'll bring up a punting situation for Boston College.
And West Virginia's main defense is a 3-3-5 alignment. This time they go with 4 down, bring a little bit of pressure. And as an offensive line, remember, we've talked from the beginning about Boston College's offensive line. Dr. Punch just did the report that they played well in their first drive, but it seemed like a little bit of confusion up front with a different look that time.
Johnny Ayers, a freshman, averages 38 yards a kick. That one is a line drive shot that will be taken by Adam Jones. Trying to find some running room. Flags are down. He's going backwards. Good coverage by BC as they take him down at about the 34-yard line. A 40-yard kick and a 5-yard loss on the attempted return, but a flag's down. And it's going to go against West Virginia.
And the one thing, talking to Tom O'Brien about his special teams, they have 2 true freshman kickers. Did not expect that coming into the season.
Illegal block in the back by the return team. Number 3, 10 yards from the end of the run.
And he said, you know, the kicking has been a little inconsistent, but we have picked it up with our coverage. That time, great coverage by Boston College.
All right, West Virginia will get it back. A chance for their second drive, starting in their own territory with the Eagles leading. West Virginia coming in with an 8-1 mark. Virginia Tech, their only loss. Boston College has had a couple of losses. They thought they were going to be out of it for a bowl picture, and all of a sudden right back in it. West Virginia's got the football, first down and 10. They'll start at their own 23 after that penalty got marked off. They'll work out of the shotgun. Rasheed Marshall trying to block out in front at the 20. Peels off it up to the 25. Chris Henry on the come around, maybe a gain of 2 for the wide receiver on the carry.
A little bit of a high snap, and I think it messed up the timing of this play. Good pursuit inside out that time. This is a very active. The one thing about this linebacking core, because they have such a good defensive line in front of them, it frees them up. and they don't have to worry about a lot of things. Brian Toll, we talked about as a true freshman, very good runner side to side.
They've got Harris and Williams in the backfield. Again, out of the shotgun, Marshall on a 2nd down and 8. He's checking off to the near side. This is about as much time as he'll ever take running a play. Back into the pocket, wants the ball. Throwing deep down at the 30-yard line. That will be incomplete. Actually a bit overthrown as Peter Sheen was back there. Chris Henry, the leading receiver, is the one Marshall was looking for in a fly.
Yeah, and Marshall threw this ball back to the outside, and his receiver Henry had gotten inside of Sheehan, and as he went back, the crowd wanting Sheehan for pass interference because the ball's thrown over the backside. Sheehan's just running in his position. He's entitled to his position. I think that's a good no call by this Big East crew.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. The officials making sure Boston College has time to get set before the snap of the football, which sometimes West Virginia is trying to get done before BC is in position. So the official standing right over the football out of the shotgun. 3rd down and 8. Big rush put on, and he got him, and he's going to be thrown for a loss. Gets sacked. Play was already down. That is not a fumble. The play had already been whistled. Even though he was still up on his feet, he wasn't going anywhere, and Marshall got hauled for a 6-yard loss as Tim Bowman, who his coach says runs people down, made the tackle, and that's what he just did.
Well, when you hear the name Chris Hovan mentioned when talking about a defensive lineman at Boston College, that's pretty good company. Frank Spaziani, the defensive coordinator, said he is Chris Hovan-like. He didn't say he was Chris Hovan, one of the best to ever play at Boston College, but Bowman kind of has that attitude.
Phil Brady will be on to do the punting. Brady averages about 39 yards a kick from his own 11, and what a rush. Boy, he just got that one away, and a good kick, and it takes a Mountaineer bounce. That'll go inside the 40-yard line all the way down to the 35-yard line, but a flag is down on the play. Flag down on the play, a 46-yard kick and no return.
And right now, the top of the game, when we talked about the defensive line of Boston College against West Virginia, right now it's that defensive line that's winning. I mean, Bowman's been in there making some plays. We've already seen Kiwanuka in there, who you expect to make plays, but this defensive line for Boston College, so very active and physical.
They are number 1 against the rush in the Big East. They are number 12 nationally against the run. This is going to go against West Virginia. Personal foul.
Oh.
And this has been a problem for this team.
Oh, yes.
This year, the penalties have piled up. They've been good enough to overcome it. But penalty-wise, they've had 80 penalties for almost 750 yards.
4 games they've been over 100
During the
yards
kick,
in penalties.
Personal foul, 22 by the kicking team. Will re-kick.
So they are going to re-kick after West Virginia got a good kick and a good bounce. And now they're going to move their kicker, Phil Brady, the junior, back even further, half the distance to the goal line. While they march it back downfield, let's take a look at the Big East standings we're talking about and the championship that's up for grabs today.
And the reason West Virginia pretty much assures themselves the Big East championship outright, if they win today or Thanksgiving against Pittsburgh, they'll only have 1 conference loss if they lose either game, and Syracuse lost head-to-head to West Virginia. Now, Boston College, of course, is the wild card. If they win out, they could get into the BCS. However, in the Big East, if 2 teams tie, it doesn't matter who won head-to-head. If one of those teams is 5 or more spots ahead in the BCS, the final BCS, that team goes, and that would probably be West Virginia.
Look at this kick taken at the 40-yard line up to the 30, 25, 21 man to beat inside the 10. Boston College, touchdown, Tribble. DeJuan Tribble on the re-kick returns it for a touchdown. The special teams return helps set up their first TD. The return here gets the TD.
And that was just not a good kick. You called it right when it came off of Brady's foot. A flat kick, and Tribble does a great job of catching it on the run. And West Virginia never got off the line of scrimmage. Boston College was in a hold-up situation. They were not going for the block, and Tribble did a really nice job of reading a flat kick, caught it on a run, and never really even had to slow down.
That is just his second punt return. The other one was for 6 yards. The kick is up, and it is good as Olinger puts it through, and Boston College has just stunned West Virginia.
and he kicked it to the side. If you saw where Boston College was setting up the wall, not only was it a flat kick, it was kicked to the side of the return, so that Tribble never even had to find his wall. He just ran right to it. And what do you have to make? One cut for the touchdown?
41 yards to one. Tribble, a freshman, takes it in. Let's get an update on what's going on elsewhere. John Saunders.
Well, Gary, as Ed just explained here on the Taco Bell update, Syracuse still has a chance, but they need some help. Facing Temple today, though, Walter Washington 25 yards to Phil Goodman. And the Owls are on the board first after one quarter play, leading 7-0. Gary.
Boston College, John's going to be playing Temple and Syracuse in their remaining two games, while West Virginia has only Pitt left.
Well, things could get real interesting the way it looks right now. Again, if West Virginia wins one of their last two, they're essentially a lock to be the Big East champion and be the representative to either the Fiesta or the Sugar Bowl. But Pittsburgh playing very well the second half of the season. Things not looking good now. Now Boston College, if they win and West Virginia goes on to lose and they beat Syracuse head-to-head and Temple, they could go on and Boston College could be the representative for the Big East.
What a start for Boston College, and Rich Rodriguez of West Virginia. You can see in the face the concern here as he took his Mountaineers to the field here today with their 22 seniors playing in their final game, about as revved up as they could possibly get. But Boston College has just come out and made no mistakes and taken advantage of a couple of great field positions. On the kick, it'll be back to about the 15-yard line, and that's Jones on the carry. He's dangerous, and he'll take it up to about the 27-yard line. Pac-Man Jones talking about West Virginia. Dr. Punch.
Well, guys, a very solemn mood here on the West Virginia bench. Almost like these guys are shell-shocked. After all, it is senior day. 22 seniors saying goodbye. 60,000 plus here to cheer in their final home game, and suddenly Mountaineer Field has gotten very, very quiet.
And you know, Rich Rodriguez made a point to us yesterday that this is a brand new position for his team. Having this much riding on, even though they were co-champions last year with Miami, this is their first chance at an outright championship. And it seems to me that Boston College is the team that's not playing very tight, and West Virginia is.
1st and 10, ball carried, 30, 40. Got a little room at midfield. On the fly is Harris. Harris to the 20 and out of bounds. Big play. Ryan Glasper finally got to him. But K.J. Harris, one of those seniors who has 9 touchdowns rushing, leading West Virginia in that department, gets a 47-yard gain.
Well, and he's one of the 22 seniors, and you know what's nice? First collegiate game that his mother has ever attended from Tampa, Florida. His mom finally came up to Morgantown to catch his game. Started out with a great game against East Carolina, 337 rushing yards, the first game of the season. Has battled a couple of different injuries, a knee and an ankle, finally healthy.
Big carry right there. 1st down and 10 all the way up to the Boston College 26-yard line. Wallace on a carry himself. Ooh, did he put himself in dangerous territory? He went into the air right at the line of scrimmage, and Ray Henderson, a 6'3", 227-pound freshman, had him in the air when he hit him.
Yeah, you don't want to be off your feet too often against this Boston College defensive front. Good penetration. Yeah, you got to be careful.
Defensive linebackers love that. That's completed at the 20-yard line, and that's going to be about it. Boston College with some swarming coverage on these passes. John Pennington, a 6-yard gain, wide out near side.
Well, and Boston College doesn't always expect to get this much productivity on offense and special teams, and their defense, you mentioned best in the Big East against the rush. They're 4th in the country. They are only giving up 13.1 points per game. So this defense, this Frank Spaziani coordinated defense, has been good all season long.
Boy, do they have to react in a hurry. Every defense starts against West Virginia with a speeded up offense. Wallace in a shotgun back at his own 25, looking over to the sideline. Big 3rd down play here, 3rd and 4. And they're going to take a timeout. They could not get what they wanted on the field. Didn't have the play they wanted. We'll see what they do with a 3rd down deep into Boston College territory, but trailing 14-0. Has gone to the sideline for West Virginia to get the call, and right now the defensive front four of Boston College is making the difference that Rich Rodriguez, the West Virginia coach, was concerned about. They are dominating the line of scrimmage, forcing high hikes, getting into the backfield, and having tremendous pursuit. 3rd down, 3, 0 for 2 3rd down conversions. That one's going to be successful at the 9. They may spot it at the 10. Chris Henry on the slant in gets the first down. 10-yard gain.
And West Virginia has run the ball 2.7 more times per pass this year. This spread offense has become almost an exclusively running offense. And West Virginia, though, when they throw it, Henry seems to be the guy. He has over 40 catches. The next best guy only has 14.
And there you see in the red zone what the offense has done. 33 out of 39 with 27 touchdowns. They're in the red zone now, trying to sweep wide inside the 10 to the 5, and just shy of the touchdown, maybe at the 1-yard line. Tried to cut Harris into the end zone, and he just missed it by a step.
And this offense is really made for the red zone because of the different things they can do. They're not going to line up in 2 backs, 2 tight ends, and pound it straight ahead. They will stay in their spread, although they do incorporate more of a tight end now at West Virginia than Rodriguez did at Clemson.
8-yard gain on the last one. Palmer has come into play at fullback now for blocking purposes. Harris, and Boston College rises to the occasion right at the line of scrimmage, or a little shy.
Well, they did get into 2 back and 2 tight end that time, and that's not their strength. I think that Rodriguez needs to get away from this, spread it back out. We've talked from the beginning at how good Boston College is on their defensive front. I think you need to continually spread them out. Even though you may run it between the tackles here, get some bodies out of the middle of the field.
Jasmine Williams made the nice tackle, the junior for BC. A 3rd down now, 3rd down and 2. Boston College stacked in. Wallace on the carry, looking. He's got an option. Wants to take it himself. Touchdown!
Well, that's one way to do it. Get your best player out on the edge. That's one thing Coach Rodriguez said they wanted to do. Marshall, one of the fastest, if not the fastest Mountaineer, as a run-pass option. There was nobody open. Good coverage by Boston College, and he's elusive enough to make the guys in white miss.
And Brad Cooper, 40 for 40 in point afters, puts that one up, and it is good. So their leading ground gainer from the quarterback position, Rasheed Marshall, who averages 4.9 a carry and 65 yards a gain on the ground. Takes it home. Marshall in for the touchdown, and that makes it 14-7. We just may have a high-scoring affair underway here, the way these 2 offenses have been moving the football at times in this game.
Well, that was the first drive, really, that West Virginia got into any kind of rhythm.
Marshall, that is going to be his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. And let's check in with Dr. Jerry Punch. Doug.
Guys, yesterday we had lunch with the seniors here at West Virginia as the train horn goes off behind us. And Rasheed Marshall said, you know, growing up, one of the quarterbacks he loved to watch play was a guy who won the Heisman Trophy at Florida State, Charlie Ward. He said, I'm about Charlie's size. I like to use my arm, but Charlie was able to use his feet on the draws and the boots very effectively in the red zone. He said, I would love to do it tomorrow in my final home game as a senior, be a Charlie Ward kind of guy in the red zone, and I think he was.
He started it right there. We should note Marshall is the all-time leading rusher in Big East history, coming into today with 1,765 rushing yards.
And he passed up a pretty good player in Donovan McNabb.
Yeah. So Boston College has one of those TDs taken away from them. That'll be at the 16-yard line. Brought back for a 4 or 5-yard gain that time on the carry made by Grant Adams. And BC will take over on a 7-yard return. Want to remind you, Monday night, Donovan McNabb, Terrell Owens, and the 7-1 Eagles head to Dallas to take on Bill Parcells and the Cowboys. It's Monday Night Football, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here on ABC. There you see the numbers Owens has put up. You'll have a chance to see him Monday night. 12 touchdowns, 1,052 yards. Out of the shotgun, Paul Peterson. Peterson, a lot of room to run, decided to dish it off 30. These flats are open. Shy of the 40-yard line goes Everett Lee again, using the fullback as a receiver in the flats. And I mean, there was nobody close to it.
And this is the growth of Paul Peterson. Even though he's a senior, he was a junior college guy, a Mormon who went on a mission and then went to Snow College in Utah, ended up at Boston College. It was only his second year. Last year had to start at the end of the season, was really just going by instinct, but now has a much better command of Dana Bible's offense and can find where the safety valves are.
Callender just came off the bench for Boston College, takes it up to about the 42-yard line. That's going to be a 3-yard gain. Andre Callender is an interesting story. He's a freshman. He actually ends up on the leaderboard for them as far as rushing yardage is concerned, but he does not start anymore. He's working off the bench.
And Whitworth was the guy we saw earlier, had the hurt knee early in the season against Ball State, the very first game. And then Callender came in and hurt his groin. They had to go to the true freshman Brooks, but everybody's healthy now.
Callender 2nd and 7. They had a lot of receivers, but go to the run. It'll be taken up to about the 36, a gain of 4 on that. And we're going to check in again with John Saunders. John.
Gary, Verizon Wireless update, little trickery in the Temple-Syracuse game. Walter Washington flips it to Ike Chukwu, who goes deep to Buchi Ibe. But his bid for a touchdown comes up short. Walt Washington takes it in a couple of plays later, 14-0 for Temple. Gary.
John, you just won the play-by-play award of the year right there. It'll be given to you at our annual meeting in downtown New York at some illustrious bar. The fake, Peterson running on the scramble to the right side, looking deep, has a receiver down near the end zone, but he's being chased back to his own 30-yard line. Peterson still running. East, west, west, east, back to the middle and down. At about the 41-yard line, Adam Jones, Pac-Man got him.
You want some oxygen after that call? Holy cow.
I was trying to compete with John there for that award.
Ran 95 yards for a 2-yard loss.
That's going to do it here in the first quarter, and what a first quarter offensively it was. Boston College had jumped out to a 14-0 lead. West Virginia has come back. College football return pass, and then a return on a punt by Treble for a touchdown. And Boston College had a 14-0 lead before Wallace ran one in. We've got a 4th down and 8 here as Ayers is back to kick for Boston College. Kick will come from about his own 30-yard line. And a good high kick at the 20. Jones, they'll let it go. And it just makes it into the end zone. So West Virginia will get it started 1st and 10. Let's check in on Michigan with John Saunders. John.
Well, Gary, facing Northwestern and Michael Hart, you might want to call him the other freshman. All the talk about Adrian Peterson. Hart takes off 34 yards here. He already has 44 on the day, and his numbers are very comparable, even better over the last 5 games to Adrian Peterson. 7-3, Gary.
Wow.
You know, a lot of people have said that take nothing away from Adrian Peterson, but a lot of that being PR as a true freshman, but Hart's a true freshman as well, and I think John Saunders makes a great point. If you're just going to look at statistics and importance to a team, why isn't Hart being talked about in the Heisman race?
He is now. One-man backfield. Jason Colson that time on the carry. Not going to go very far. Line of scrimmage. Doesn't look like there was any gain on that one as Ratzi moved in to put the hit on Boston College and their defense trying to turn this ball over in a hurry as West Virginia tries to turn over their backfield here and get these plays going. We are not seeing West Virginia, their offense, moving as quickly, I think, as they would like to see it. It's just not happening. Into the flats, completed to the 25-yard line, very close to a 1st down. John Pennington on the reception from Rashid Marshall.
You know, a couple years ago we had a West Virginia game and Rich Rodriguez was talking about Marshall when he was just a freshman and saying that this young man has so much ability. He throws so well on the run, and he has tweaked. Rich Rodriguez has totally tweaked this offense to Marshall's skills, and that time you saw a little sprint out action. He gets the plays from the sidelines. They audible from the sidelines. He doesn't have to do much thinking until the ball is snapped.
Got the 1st down, 1st and 10. Harris in the backfield with him, leading on the block. Marshall on the carry, and he'll get to 2 or 3 yards on that one. So Marshall will continue to run. He'll have a gain of 3 on that. Hit put on by Rathje playing that right tackle position.
It was funny when we were talking to Rich Rodriguez yesterday. As you see, all of the specialists, the quarterbacks, the wide receiver, the running backs, they all get the signals from the sideline, either from Rich Rodriguez or one of the backup quarterbacks. But this is a system he's been doing since he was the head coach at Glenville State, a Division II school here in West Virginia.
Wide receivers each way, keep 2 in the backfield on this 2nd down and 6. Fakes it, there's the pitch, there's the fumble. Ball is recovered, but in the backfield by Harris. dangerous play because Boston College, again, that front line is making such penetration. It'll be a loss of 8 for the Mountaineers. And now they've got to look to the sideline on a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 14. West Virginia's 2 for 4. 3rd down out of the shotgun, looking deep. He lofts that one. There is nobody anywhere near it. Just threw it away.
Well, and that was, again, that was a hurry-up 3rd down call. And I don't think that Chris Henry got the proper call. Rasheed Marshall was looking for Henry to run a go route. Henry is always their deep play man, averaging over 20 yards per reception this year. And you can see Marshall right now talking to Rich Rodriguez. They didn't communicate that properly.
Sellout crowd on end here, and great to have you with us from Morgantown, West Virginia. Gary Thorne with Ed Cunningham and Dr. Jerry Punch and our crew. Boston College has the lead. This is a battle for the Big East title here today. That kick really got his foot into that one, all the way back to the 24-yard line. Trouble, who has returned a punt for a touchdown, gets up to the 30. That's where the kicking game can really give your defense some help. 50-yard kick, a 6-yard return. It was Ridwan Malik putting the hit on. We'll be right back. Boston College leads it. The quarterback, 24 years old, 9 wins, 2 losses since taking over as a starter at Boston College. It is a 1st down at 10. BC at their own 30-yard line. Callender is in the backfield. 2 receivers wide side. The fake to Callender, comes weak side, dumps it off. Great pass, 35. Tight end up to about the 38-yard line. Chris Miller, the tight end, gains 8. Let's take a look at our Pac Life game summary.
Well, the score is 14-7. We're going to show you how. First drive of the game, a great job by the offensive line of Boston College. Whitworth on the screen finishes it off, and then because of a penalty, West Virginia has to re-kick. Brady kicks it flat. DeJuan Tribble makes him pay for it. And then what we expected the whole game, Rasheed Marshall finally gets loose on a drive and gets on the edge for the touchdown.
Boston College going after the 1st down, will not make it. A gain of a yard. Andre Callender, the carry, and Dykes moved in to put the hit on the defensive end, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and a yard for Boston College, and the defense of West Virginia trying to get the fans up to make some noise.
They needed some help. They were listless last week against Temple and the week before. Gave up 51 points in back-to-back games to Rutgers and Temple, and they got an earful this week about intensity.
3rd down and 1, 3 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. Peterson looking, lobs one. Fine catch made for the 1st down by Everett Lee. A 3-yard gain, and you knew Lee heard footsteps, but he stayed with it.
Yeah, but Lee has become their go-to receiver.
Wow.
It's his 3rd catch of the ball game, and you know, Peterson, watching film on him, he has a lot of throws. He now has hit 8 different receivers so far in the ball game, but he throws the ball a couple different ways. That time he kind of lobbed it up there knowing he had to get it over the top of the linebackers.
Lee had 3 receptions on the season coming into the game. He's had 3 in the game. Trying to get it up to midfield. They'll be shy at about the 48-yard line on the 1st and 10. Callender again on the carry for his 6-yard gain. And let's take a look at our Aflac trivia question this week. Our Aflac trivia question is: name the only team in Division 1A to win a bowl game in each of the last 4 years. The only team in Division 1A to win a bowl game in each of the last 4 years.
I'll give you a hint.
Ed?
You can eliminate 115 of the 117 Division 1A teams.
You're looking at, oh, never mind. Here's a second.
50-50.
There you go. 2nd down and 5. Couple of tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 in the backfield. Peterson again on the out pass is going to be incomplete at midfield.
And he hurried that one.
Larry Lester, the intended.
Yeah, he felt a little pressure coming. Lester, you always want to throw that out cut before the receiver makes his cut, but that was just a hiccup too soon by Paul Peterson.
So now another big 3rd down play, 3rd down and 5. Numbers on Peterson with a 1 TD, 8 for 11. 4 for 6 in 3rd down conversions.
Well, you got to think West Virginia's thinking pressure on 3rd and medium, and Dana Bible on pressure before was when they ran the screen for the touchdown. Maybe you'll see the same thing here.
Only 2 back to guard against the pass here. 2 receivers set on the short side, near side. Peterson looking. Peterson is going to have to scramble it. Wide open. Up to the 40-yard line, 35, and down to the 30-yard line as they swung a man, Larry Lester, into the middle. And with only 2 back on pass coverage, a 21-yard gain.
And this is a crossing route by Lester, and this is something that Jeff Castile is how you can take a little bit of advantage of West Virginia. Their defensive secondary, although tough against the run, not the most athletic group of guys. And that's a long way to run for a cornerback. And because Peterson bought himself a little time, he's able to find Lester on the shallow cross.
First down and 10. Going to be a loss on this one. Nope. Turn back up. Turn to the 30-yard line. Down to the 25 and up to another first down. Callender, who came off the bench, did not start, has suddenly become very active and an 11-yard gain.
And that's the second time that we've seen. We saw Paul Peterson do it earlier where he ran over to the right, came back to the left and lost 4 yards, but this time Callender. And this will wear a defense out. A good finish of a block by Sherilis. The right tackle finished his block, and that would have been a loss if Sherilis had not finished his block.
Boston College driving again. First down at 10. Ball at the 22-yard line. Make it a gain of 10 on that last carry. Whitworth is in now in the backfield. There he is with the football. He'll maybe gain a yard on that as he gets to about the 20-yard line, stretching it out. Plenty of time for BC here in the second quarter. Tonight at 7:45 Eastern, Alabama Crimson Tide head to Baton Rouge, where they have only lost once since 1970. They'll try to continue to defy the mystique as they take on Nick Saban's LSU Tigers. College football Saturday primetime 7:45 on ESPN. Callender comes back into the backfield. 2 receivers near side. A second down and 9 for Boston College. Peterson fakes. Looks, again going to the weak side, dancing, and not enough down at the 30. He gets sacked. Ernest Hunter in a one-on-one battle, and the 6'4" junior throws him for a 9-yard loss.
Well, and this is where Peterson needs to throw this ball away. You know, the play in the first quarter where he ran around and lost 4 yards, he probably should have thrown that ball away. It's hard to take this out of Paul Peterson. This is the type of thing that he likes to do, but this is just a dead play. Nobody was open. Even if he would have gotten away from Hunter, I still don't think he would have found somebody open, so he should have just thrown that one out of bounds near the first down instead of putting them out of field goal range.
Hunter celebrating. Third down, 17. 5 for 7 on third down conversions. Peterson, 4 receivers. Again, getting chased. Again, will try and carry it. And he's not going to even get back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a gain of only 2. And now we'll see whether or not.
Yeah, this is a long field goal for a true freshman.
Long field goal if they want to try it here. Oliger's gone 7 for 12 in field goals. And they're going to talk about it here with. No, they're not. They're going to do it. It'll come from the 35-yard line. Oliger. His longest 42 yards. This is a 44 attempt. 44-yard attempt. Oliger Boston College gets it up. It's got legs. And it is good.
Nice kick.
So Oliger gets his longest of the season, a 44-yarder. And Boston College extends their lead to 17-7 with 8:39 left to go in the first half. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Aflac, ask about it at work. Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light. And Sprint, the Sprint PCS. Fair and flexible plan for the families means the end of ugly overages. Monongahela, hey! Beautiful downtown area that's being renovated along the rivers. They're rejuvenating that whole waterfront area. And the rejuvenating Eagles right now are going at it.
Yeah, and I don't think Tom O'Brien had his team out sightseeing yesterday.
They got in here very late, actually.
They were focused.
Yeah, they came through a snowstorm last night.
They were lucky to get out of Boston.
They had a 45-minute de-icing before they were able to get out of Boston last night. 41 degrees here at game time. Sunny blue skies, beautiful day after a couple of days of rain. Couldn't be nicer here right now. Jones and Rivers are back. Boston College extends their lead again. That'll be taken back at the 5-yard line. Jones, a dangerous returner, and that one's going to be taken down by Peter Sheen, and we'll get an update on Texas now from John Saunders. John?
Well, Gary, their outstanding running back, Cedric Benson, 5 touchdown runs last week, and here's his first of today against Kansas. The Jayhawks actually led on a field goal, now 7-3, and Benson well on his way to another 100-yard-plus day. Meanwhile, a big surprise is Temple looks for their first win in the Big East, and they lead 3-1 Syracuse.
Wow, do they ever lead them? John keeping us updated on the other games going on. Here's a 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 16-yard line. West Virginia with the football up to the 20, 25, and that's going to be about it for Williams. A 5-yard gain, Pernell Williams. Let's check in with Dr. Punch.
Guys, the 5 steps for Rasheed Marshall to get a playoff here in West Virginia. Number 1, he looks at the sideline. The 2 quarterbacks will signal him the tempo. Is it a quick tempo? Is it normal? The formation. 3 is the play itself. Then he goes to the line of scrimmage and calls the protection. And number 5 looks at the defense. Does he adjust the play?
Marshall, that one on the quick time handoff at the 21 missed tackle and about the 22-yard line for K.J. Harris, a 2-yard gain. But right now, this is not working for the Mountaineers.
No, it sure isn't. It sure isn't. And to add to Dr. Punch, they call the audibles actually from upstairs. Calvin McGee, who's the offensive coordinator, although Coach Rodriguez calls the plays, they'll make the audibles sometimes 2 and 3 times during the game. And right now, these 5 steps are not working at all for West Virginia.
First downs are 8-5 in favor of Boston College out of the shotgun. 3rd down and 4. And they'll flank it out to the 20-yard line. 25 first down. That'll be at about the 28. As they'll take some of those backs and move them out of there. The tackle made by Ricky Brown as Harris came out of the backfield for a 7-yard gain. Harris is both a runner and receiver.
Yeah, 2 receiving touchdowns last week to go with his 2 rushing touchdowns. Was the Big East Offensive Player of the Week, the co-Big East Offensive Player of the Week.
You see the entire West Virginia team staring over at the sideline. That's what Ed was just talking about, what Jerry was talking about. They all look to get the signs. There's just not enough time with this rush offense for them to hear anything. So they have to look and see it. A 1st down and 10 again out of the shotgun. Marshall coming near side on the keep. That'll be incomplete, overthrown up at the 45-yard line. He was going for Joe Hunter. That's not Ivory Joe Hunter. That's receiver Joe Hunter, the sophomore.
And that was the first kind of, even though West Virginia hasn't been in rhythm except for the 1 drive, that was really the first bad throw by Rasheed Marshall.
He's 5 out of 8, 42 yards in the air so far in this game.
Really let that one float because Hunter was wide open as he sat down in the zone. Boston College, because of this defensive front, they don't have to play a lot of man-to-man, and there's just not a lot of holes in their secondary.
2nd down and 10. Ball at the 29-yard line. Handoff straight up the middle, 35, and punches for maybe a couple more depending on the spot here. Give him a 6-yard gain. Brian Toll, a very good freshman defensive backer for Boston College, put the hit on.
And this is where Rasheed Marshall, that's the type of play where he reads the defensive end. That time the defensive end crashed and he went ahead and gave it to K.J. Harris. If he'd have held it, I think he could have got bigger yardage to the outside.
This is going to bring up another big 3rd down. 3rd down and 2. 3 for 6 3rd down conversion so far. They've got 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Marshall out of the shotgun, wants the slant in, gets it up to midfield. Little dancing going on right there, and into Boston College territory goes Chris Henry, their leading receiver, a 14-yard gain. Well, our Aflac trivia question, the only team in Division 1A to win a bowl game in each of the last 4 years, and the Aflac answer.
You flipped the coin when you came up with Boston College. You got it right, Gary.
Thank you so much.
Good guess.
And there are the bowl games that they have been involved in. Boston College is on a string right now of having qualified 6 consecutive bowl eligible seasons, including this one. A 1st down and 10. Mountaineers on the drive right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made. While Harris was trying to turn the corner and somehow got caught.
Yeah, Kiwanuka is this guy, 6'7". When he started playing last year, about 240 pounds. He's crept up to 260. But West Virginia's going to have to do something to try to slow down these defensive ends for Boston College. They talked about getting to the edge. When he's going to be chasing down the line that bad, Marshall's going to have to keep it and keep him honest, because that play would have picked up 6-7 yards except for the backside defensive end.
Loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11. Ball again back at midfield. Movement by BC by a lineman, but he got back. And that one may be carried for a couple-yard gain. Not much room, though, for Jason Colson, the sophomore. Give him a 2-yard gain. You got Colson, Harris, Pernell Williams, all will be in and out of the lineup, out of that backfield, and they've all been in there so far today.
One thing that's a bit of a misnomer is that this is not really hurry up. They're trying to eat some clock as well.
Coming up, we'll have our halftime show. It'll be John, Craig, and Aaron coming up with the highlights and analysis, and they'll take a look at Maurice Claret, brought to you by Capital One. We're going to get a timeout by West Virginia. Delighted to have you with us. coverage of college football here on ABC with the Big East Championship up for grabs. These are the two teams with the best shot at it right now.
Lost, Wednesday, 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
Well, they're trying to figure out how to get this offense going. There are the numbers for Marshall with the 9 attempts, 6 completions, 56 yards total so far.
And this offense does not want to be in 3rd and 8 very often because Boston College does not have to bring a blitz to get pressure.
3 receivers set to the right, 1 near side, and another big 3rd down play, 3rd down at 8:47. He drops back to his own 45, a lot of room, pulls up, pass is going to be intercepted at the 25-yard line. Boston College has got it back, and they'll bring it up to the 30. Ryan Glasper, a sophomore, a 6-yard return and a turnover.
Well, and this was not a good play by Marshall. He got flushed out of the pocket. He had to throw it because Boston College is able to play zone coverage. He would not have made the first down. All those eyes on the backfield. 7 guys watching. When he gets over here, Brian Toll does a really nice job of coming up. He has to throw this, but he has Henry open over to the left. He decides to come back across the middle, and that's exactly where the safety Glasper is standing. Not a good decision by the senior.
That is the 6th interception against Marshall this season. Boston College gets it back, first down at 10. Ball at the 30-yard line. 4:40 remaining to go here in the first half. Straight up the middle to the 40. Great blocking downfield to about the 47. That's L.V. Whitworth, the freshman. The 6-footer, 215 pounds, a 17-yard gain.
Well, you know, we were talking to Tom O'Brien earlier in the week, and he was talking about how everyone was so disappointed in the run game. He said, well, you lose 3 offensive line. 1 leaves early, and he's a starter for the Giants now. You lose Derek Knight, who had over 1,700 yards. You're going to have a little bit of a drop-off. He said, but with all of the injuries and all the inconsistencies on our offensive line, if we can finish strong at the end of the season, we're really looking forward to having another great rushing attack next year, and it looks like they're finishing strong.
Little lob pass into the middle, tight end incomplete. Good coverage all the way up to the 35-yard line. That was Scott Jericho reached up and knocked that down. The tight ends have become a favorite target here today for Peterson.
And Cachetta last week had 4 receptions, but this nice job by Jericho from Morgantown.
A walk-on.
Born and raised, yeah. Finally got a scholarship.
Exciting's that for a kid, his own hometown college football after walking on turns into a starter. This is going to bring up a 2nd down at 10. Ball at the 47. Big blitz is on. Peterson gets the handoff away. Can't get around that corner. Breaks 1 tackle, but about the line of scrimmage. 1-yard gain, and a flag is down in the Boston College line area.
We got a holding.
And that's who it's going to be against. The penalties thus far in this game have generally gone against West Virginia. 1 very big penalty that forced a re-kick.
Holding on the offense. Number 70. 10 yards from the previous spot. 2nd down.
Well, we'll get another 2nd down play coming up here. That is the first penalty against Boston College in this game.
And a big one. West Virginia needed this. They had the turnover, the momentum so clearly on Boston College's side, and a turnover even made it worse. Now, if you're Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator, you can get a little bit risky on 2nd and long. You've got to think this is 100% throwing down for Paul Peterson. Maybe disguise a blitz or his own blitz and back somebody out.
That blitz forced that last penalty as they had to hang on. Boston College did to stop the blitz. Peterson's going to get blitzed again from that other side. Just throws this one away on the West Virginia sideline. Good pressure put on. That's how you get to the quarterback and force the action. Ernest Hunter, who's had 1 sack in this game, put the heat on Peterson that time.
Well, he did a nice job. That was another screen as another flag is down in the Boston College backfield. But Hunter did a nice job. Your defensive linemen, if they read screen, don't get caught in no man's land. Either go finish the play on the quarterback or turn and chase. And Hunter did the right thing in finishing the play towards the quarterback.
This flag came very late, I think.
Yes, it did.
Did not see that until well after the play had been whistled. And now they're throwing it back to where the infraction apparently occurred. This could be on West Virginia after the quarterback. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah,
Grounding.
he never got out of the pocket.
Intentional grounding. Number 18 on the offense. Lost it down. Out of the foul. 3rd down.
In other words, a sack just occurred.
Yeah.
And I thought that, Peterson backed up. There is no rule You can go as deep as you want. It doesn't mean you can throw it away. Take a look at the pocket. He's got to stay between he's got to get outside of the tackles before he throws this away. Yeah, it's not even close. That's a really good call by the referee, Tom DeJoseph. That is the proper call on that.
Now you got a third down because you lose down. Third down and 29. Boston College 5 for 8 third down conversions. It's been a big part of this first half for the Boston College Eagles. Peterson, 2 receivers wide side, hands it off straight up the middle. It'll be carried to the 36-yard line. So they go with Whitworth on the carry on the passing play, and Lennard put the hit on.
Well, now you're playing field position, Boston College. They just wanted to get a few yards so that their young punter Ayers can maybe get it down to the 25, 20-yard line, because the defense for Boston College has played so well in the first half.
Pac-Man Jones will be standing back at his own 20-yard line as Ayers gets set to do the kicking. Ayers averaging 38 a punt this year. Good protection. Jones driven back again at his own 19. Gets hit, gets away from 1, has room to the 30. How much is that missed tackle going to cost Boston College? All the way up to the 39-yard line. 44-yard kick, an 18-yard return. Glasper put the hit on, but a good second effort by Pac-Man. On the season, West Virginia averaging just shy of 35 points a game, while Boston College has averaged 21. First half of this game, it's been the reverse in those numbers.
Take a look at the Dodge defensive playbook and what resulted as a sack. This was a very big play, and now you get great field position for West Virginia because Paul Peterson goes to throw this ball away. A good job by Ernest Hunter finishing it. He never left the pocket. The correct call is made, and it ends up essentially being a sack for West Virginia.
First and 10, West Virginia with the football. Little screen out to the far side. Their best field position in the first half. Up over midfield, Harris. Look at him charge. Mama, this is for you.
Yes.
We mentioned earlier his mother and triplet sisters on hand. His mom seeing him play for the first time in college. And a 24-yard gain.
Well, and he talked about how upset he was that his sisters made the trip north for the first game of the season. He got hurt, or excuse me, the second game of the season. He got hurt the second play of the game and hurt his knee and wasn't able to finish. So not only mom coming to her first game, but sisters really getting to see him for the first time in extended action.
Harris is averaging 6 yards a carry and 88 yards a game out of that backfield. Gets the first down, first and 10. Quick look to the far side for a little screen on a comeback. Boston College has got it covered, and there'll be a loss of yardage. Henderson, the receiver, but he had nowhere to go and will lose 3 yards.
Yeah, and Henderson needs to read the scouting report. If you're going to run for yards, don't run back towards the defensive line of the guys in white. They're all pretty active.
He'd hope for a little blocking coming in that direction, and all he had was the white and maroon.
They had some blocking downfield, but his offensive linemen weren't over to that side. He needs to stay towards the sideline.
A second down and 13. West Virginia into Boston College territory. Marshall on the quick handoff. Harris, tremendous second and third efforts. He'll take that ball down to about the 32-yard line on a 7-yard gain. Talking with Harris yesterday, we had a chance to meet him. We were kind of kidding him a little bit about nobody really fools around with you in this team, do they? And he was serious, said, nobody fools around with me.
No, and KJ Harris, watch the tough running here as he gets the handoff. But Marshall, what he's going to do is he's reading. He can keep this ball, and I think he needs to start doing this, Gary. Watch the defensive end as he crashes down. He hasn't kept that ball one time so far in this game, and I think he needs to start. Good tough running by KJ Harris, but I think the big juice is outside.
Marshall, quick slant in pass is going to be incomplete. Ball up near the 20-yard line. John Pennington, the intended receiver, and a flag is down on the play. Well, that's a big call. We've only had one against Boston College so far. This one looks like it may be another.
You know, where that was thrown is an illegal participation.
Excuse me?
Offsetting fouls, holding. 65 on the offense. Personal foul, 94 on the defense. Offset, replay, third down.
All right, they'll replay it. So offsetting penalties. Boston College has had about 524 penalty yards to the 749 of West Virginia this year. Great to have you with us here as West Virginia, Boston College go at it. With Ed Cunningham, Dr. Jerry Punch, I'm Gary Thorne, and our crew. This is for the Big East Championship. This is for a chance for a BCS Bowl bid. And Boston College, a surprising 17-7 lead here in the first half. A very big 3rd down and 6. They are 4 for 8 in 3rd down conversions. Marshall is backing it up at the 40-yard line out of the shotgun, 4 receivers deep. He's got a chance to run. Linebackers moving up will make the play and drive him out of bounds. Cornerbacks came on to help as Mikowitz moved in to put that hit on, and it is not enough for a first down.
Yeah, but I think Rich Rodriguez is going to go for it. Both of these teams have not been automatic on field goals. Brad Cooper only 7 for 12 this year for West Virginia, and I think this is early on the right call by Rodriguez. They're trying to get it out there quickly, but they took a second. You could see them huddling, trying to make the decision whether to go for it, and I think this is the right call.
They have only 1 timeout remaining. West Virginia has used 2 so far in this first half. Here's a 4th down and 1 for West Virginia. BC stacking it. They move those linebackers towards the slots. Long take. 4 seconds left on the clock to get this play off. They're down to it. Oh, they didn't make it.
Oh, what a shame.
They did not make it.
And it was indecision. Rich Rodriguez and his staff took about 5 seconds to decide whether they were going to go for it. Frank Spaziani showed blitz, and so Rasheed Marshall looked over to Rodriguez to see if he wanted to change the play, and he never got it off. The center, Brown, was looking between his legs for the snap, and I think he missed the signal, but that was just a little bit of confusion. And now it looks to me like they're going to go for it again on 4th down, because you don't really gain much. If you punt this into the end zone, you only gain 12 yards, and this is not an automatic with their kicking game.
You'd have a long field goal situation if you were to try it here. So here's a 4th down and 6 now. The ball spotted at the 33-yard line. West Virginia with 1:19 to go in the half. And again, Marshall having troubles. The fans really a bit upset with West Virginia. Only 1 second left on that play clock. He'll try and carry for the first down, and he will not make it. Stopped at the 30-yard line. Ray Henderson, the linebacker, a freshman. And the boos echo out of the stands here in West Virginia.
Well, I don't think they're booing from the play call. I don't think they're booing for anything except for how bad they looked on 4th down. They looked out of sorts. Even that time, the play clock got down to 1 second. And Rich Rodriguez talking about hurrying up. Listen, we gave you the play. He continually looked. Remember, the audibles for West Virginia come from the sideline. And Rodriguez upset because Marshall continually looked to the sideline instead of just running the play.
So it'll be a turnover, 4th down, as the Boston College defense holds on. And the Eagles take over with a 1st and 10 and 1:13 left to go here in the first half. Peterson into that pocket, gets the rush, drops it off. Not a real screen, missed tackle 35. Up to about the 39-yard line goes Whitworth. And what a first half this freshman has had. L.V. Whitworth in just his 3rd start. What Ed was talking about, trying to find some running backs. Boston College experimenting still.
And Whitworth did a nice job to get to the sidelines and get out of bounds. Actually stepped out of bounds before he lurched forward. Otherwise, Boston College may have had to use one of their 3 timeouts. Right now, Peterson needs to be very aware of where he throws the ball. Anywhere short of the sticks, he might have to use one of the 3 timeouts.
Stepped out of bounds for a 5-yard gain, so a 2nd down and 5. Peterson shotgun. The blitz is on. He throws out of that pocket. Oh my gosh. Wide open, but could not be handled by Whitworth, as the flats and the screen areas in this first half have been open for Boston College.
Boy, and it looked like Whitworth would have easily picked up the first down had he caught that. The strong safety, Lorello, was coming over to try to make the play, but it looked like this would have been easily a first down. Now for West Virginia, I think it's time to take a little bit of a risk. They're not a high blitz team, but I think Jeff Castile on 3rd and short needs to blitz Peterson, because when they've gotten to him, he's made a couple of mistakes.
All right, 3rd down, 5 for 9. 3rd down conversions, Boston College so far. This is a 3rd and 5, fullback draw play, and they're going to get the first down, 45 up to midfield and into West Virginia territory. Whitworth on the carry, and it was Abdinu who finally drove him out of bounds after a 22-yard gain.
You know, we were talking earlier about West Virginia defensively. They played so well at the beginning of the season, but their last 2 games against Rutgers and Temple, They've played horribly. Almost 900 yards of total offense giving up in those 2 games, and it's come right into this ball game. They're just not flying around making tackles. That time they had a 4-man defensive line and got no penetration.
A first down and 10, Boston College on the rush over the middle. That'll be incomplete as they blitz the corners that time. Peterson's pass will stop the clock with 49 seconds to go. Lester was the intended receiver. So Boston College wants to get at least within field goal range here. They still have their 3 timeouts left and don't have to use one there in the incomplete pass.
And you got to figure about 15 yards is where they're going to feel comfortable putting their freshman Oliger out there for a field goal. So trying to get down around the 30-yard line, I think, before they're going to send him out.
Peterson 10 out of 16, 102 yards in the air. Peterson as the linebacker chasing him. Peterson will throw it down the sideline, open and complete at the 15-yard line. How did he find Lester?
Number 18. And I think the officials missed it. It looked to me like Lester ran out of bounds and came back in to catch this. In college football, if you're forced out, you can come back in and be the first to touch the ball. But Lester was out of bounds before he came in and caught this, and I think the officials may have just flat missed it.
It is a first down and a 28-yard gain as Lester brings it all the way down to the 15-yard line. Boston College first and 10, 40 seconds left. Collender is in the backfield. They spread the receivers left side at West Virginia. Charging offside.
You know, Rich, to finish that rule, in college football, if the receiver goes out on his own, he can't be the first to make a play on the ball. If he's forced out, he can. And it looked to me like Lester stepped out of bounds and then came back in and made the play, and no official threw his hat down, meaning he saw him go out of bounds.
Adam Lenorth, the senior middle linebacker, he knew he wasn't drawn off. He was trying to guess the count, and he didn't. And so he'll be charged with a 5-yard offside penalty.
You know, Rich Rodriguez spoke all week to his team about not pressing. And it seems to me like West Virginia's pressing right now. They seem uptight.
All right, this is going to be a first down and 5. First and 5, ball spotted at the 9-yard line where they get the passing play. Peterson looking in the end zone, corner incomplete. And BC has tried to really on passing plays, run and running plays, pass. Let's get down to Jerry Punch. Doug.
Hey guys, he had a moment ago. Lester did not step out. I was right in front of me, and the official was looking at him. He was maybe a half an inch from the boundary, but he was very, I thought he stepped out too, looked down, but he was about a half an inch from the edge. He was very close, but he stayed in bounds the whole time.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked like both officials had a good spot on it, Doc. It just from up here, it looked like he may have stepped out, but Doc's just always in the right spot.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got it. Callender in the backfield. Remember, they've got 3 timeouts left. They can run the ball if they want here and call timeout with 35 seconds to go. But they're going to pass. Peterson out to the flats again. That'll be caught at the 8-yard line. And they'll have to take a timeout here. Grant Adams. And there's the timeout with 27 seconds remaining. So Boston College still shy of a first down.
Well, and you have so many different things you can do. Peterson does he does a really nice job. He puts, when guys are running like that, he does a nice job of getting it so they can continue to run. But that was just a really nice job by Anthony Mims making the tackle. And right now, if I'm Boston College, there's so many different options because if they pick up the first down, they have enough time for 2 or 3 plays into the end zone because of their 2 timeouts. They definitely hold the advantage right now.
And they can get a first down. So it'll be a 3rd down and 2 coming up. Keep in mind what Boston College is accomplishing here. You're looking at a team in West Virginia which has outscored the opposition almost 3-1 in the first half this season. And Boston College has got a 17-7 lead closing in on the half.
Well, you get the feeling that Boston College is the team that's not playing for anything. They're just playing loose, and West Virginia feels the weight of the world on their shoulders. But Boston College is still in the hunt for the Big East. If they win out, and West Virginia loses to them today and goes on to lose against an improved Pitt team on Thanksgiving night, Boston College goes to the BCS, either the Fiesta or the Sugar. So I think O'Brien's got his team playing a lot looser than Rich Rodriguez has his team playing.
Doc, where's the emotion at home?
Exactly. You know, Gary, I think it's very atypical to see West Virginia play with this little emotion here. It's their final home game. Seniors going away. Very, very little emotion here in this Mountaineer field or on the sidelines. I'm going to ask head coach Rich Rodriguez about that at halftime as he goes off, but very little emotion here in the first half.
Boy, they need it right here. This is a big scoring chance at the end of the first half. Boston College with a 3rd down and 2 for the first down, 7 for the touchdown. Peterson, fullback draw, first down, trying to get into the end zone, and no, at the 1-yard line.
Now, BC should do a hurry up right here and run a quarterback sneak. They didn't need to take their timeout. I always think at that point with 20 seconds, you can run up, just call a quarterback sneak, and I think you walk into the end zone.
What a series. Remember, this drive started at their own 30 with 1:13 on the clock, and it came after the defense held on a 4th down and 6 that West Virginia did not convert. Now, their 9th play, they are one shy of a TD.
And the story of this game is so clearly L.V. Whitworth. He's averaging almost 8 yards per carry. And coming into the game, you mentioned 67 yards rushing was the average for the last 3 ball games. None of them over 100 yards.
Whitworth has averaged 63 per game coming in. And as Ed says, you see there, he's already got 74 in the first half of this game. So a tremendous game for him. And he's had 3 big plays where he's been up around 20 yards a carry.
And don't think that these young running backs, especially Whitworth, a freshman, don't think they're not also auditioning for next year, because this team has got a lot of guys coming back in the backfield, and they know that this is not going to continue because Tom O'Brien, as the coach, is going to want to improve on this.
So you see what Boston College has done. The first 5 games they had the rushing attack, then they lost it, and now today it looks like they've got it back. West Virginia's, as we said, they've had only 1 loss against Virginia Tech. In the first half of that game, they did not score, as they were outscored 13-0 in the first half. Here, they have put up 1 touchdown, but they're being outscored 17-7. But first down and goal from the 1 with 20 seconds left. Boston College trying to add to it. Straight over the middle, nowhere to go. That'll be shy, and now they got to use another timeout, and they do immediately. Plenty of time still. 14 seconds left to go. No more timeout.
And the reason Boston College was able to run it on that was because they had 1 more timeout. Now, with 14 seconds left on second down, you can take 2 shots into the end zone, because if they're incomplete, the clock will stop. You should have plenty of time. If worst case scenario, you have to bring your field goal unit on.
Boston College knows, and so does West Virginia, just how vital scoring here, especially a touchdown in this situation, would be to add another 7 on the board.
If West Virginia comes out of this with only 3 on the board for Boston College, they should do backflips into their locker room, because going 24-7 at half, we've already seen the lack of emotion because they've been just shocked at what's happened. Can you imagine the shock down 24-7?
Yep, and for the Big East, let me just say, gently, there are a lot of people in the Big East who do not want to see Boston College having a chance to win the Big East title. In the last year they're going to be in the Big East, many view them as having been running away from this conference to go to the ACC, and a lot of people in the Big East, fans included, didn't like it.
And I think the Big East, rightfully so, was very upset about what happened and what the ACC did to the Big East. I think it's one of the worst things in college football in the last 20 years. You know, we all talk about it's not the money, but Tom O'Brien, it wasn't his choice. It wasn't his players' choice. It was a choice by the administration, a choice by the ACC to do this. And O'Brien, he said, we've had to deal with this for 2 years. Our kids who had nothing to do with this decision have had to deal with this because we didn't get to go to the ACC this year. It's been very difficult.
And now they've got a chance to win the Big East in their last year in the conference. All right, 14 seconds left. 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. No more timeouts for Boston College. Peterson dropping, looking to the end zone. Throws to the back of it. Caught. Touchdown! And Boston College has put it in. They have used the tight ends all day, and that time Kasueda again makes the catch. Kasueda got it in the back of the end zone. It is 23-7. Peterson converts on the first of 2 opportunities if he had needed it.
So hard to defend this. When the quarterback gets to rolling, the entire flow of the defense goes with him, and Kasueda just goes and just does basically a button hook in the back of the end zone. He's not even going to move, doesn't have to move, and Peterson able to throw it right back across. A very nice catch by Kasueda.
Extra point is up and good, 24-7.
But watch as the flow of the defense, because of the rollout by Peterson, everyone's running that way, and Kasueda just sets down. And he throws the arms up in the universal I'm open signal. And Peterson sees it. That's a tough catch because no one around you. It probably takes about half an hour for that ball to get there.
Great catch. Grant Adams, who you may have saw another receiver, had drawn triple coverage as he cut across in front of him, and that's the reason he was wide open. So Peterson, another touchdown pass, and a stunned Mountaineer crowd looking at this Boston College team and going, where did this team come from?
Well, and the difference has been the balance in offense that Boston College has had. You know, Tom O'Brien said, if we get 140 to 150 rushing yards in this ball game, we'll be very happy. Well, they're well on their way to that, if not a lot more, the way L.V. Whitworth is running.
So 24-7, 8 seconds left to go, and West Virginia will get the football back for one last try and try and do something on this kickoff return. They've got a chance with Adam Jones, Pac-Man Jones back there, who averages about 25 yards a return if he can get his hands on the ball.
I would be shocked. As shocked as I am at the score, I would be almost that shocked if they didn't kick this ball on the ground.
All right, let's see where they put this. Here in the closing moments. Now they put it up in the air, little line drive kick, but bounced it back at the 9-yard line. West Virginia trying to convert on this one, brought back up on a good return to about the 37-yard line, but 0.4 seconds remaining to go. As Boston College puts the heat on, and little discussion. These two teams don't particularly like one another. They've played each other a lot year in, year out. They know they're not going to see one another again, maybe ever, in light of the chance of changing conferences here that's going to be going on. So there's been some real emotion involved here coming into this game. It'll be a first down and 10 for West Virginia.
And Boston College has never won at West Virginia while they've been in the Big East. And so there's a lot of things, as much riding on this game for Tom O'Brien and his Boston College Eagles as there are for the Mountaineers.
West Virginia's won 10 consecutive Big East games, and they've won their last 9 games here at home overall. But as the clock ticks down first half, one final play to be made up to the 40. Boston College had everybody back deep, surrendering the whole field, and the tackle made on Rasheed Marshall to end the first half. So the Boston College Eagles have come to Morgantown, and they have stunned both this team and this crowd. Not the fact that they've got a lead, but the fact that the lead is 24-7. I'm not sure anybody anticipated that kind of a differential for Boston College in the first half.
And the difference was the running game. They haven't had it in the last 3 ball games. They finally have their offensive line healthy. They finally have a full stable of backs, and it has been domination up front on both sides of the line for Boston College, both defensively and offensively.
Boston College out rushing West Virginia 142-81 in that first half. A couple of touchdown passes, a punt return returned for a touchdown, a field goal kicked, and we'll get down to Dr. Jerry Punch. Doc?
Coach, very atypical first half for one of your Mountaineer teams, struggling on both sides of the ball. How do you adjust at halftime?
Well, we just got to execute better. We're making a lot of mental mistakes. We're not playing good, sound football in all 3 phases, and they're taking advantage of it.
Emotion, a big part of what you guys have done here over the years. Not a whole lot of emotion in the first half.
Well, I think our guys are into the game. It's just we're not carrying that onto the field like we need to, and when you play a good football team, it can hurt you.
Hey, thanks, Coach. Gary?
All right, Jerry, thanks very much. Our halftime score, 24-7. Coming up next, Capital One Halftime Show. John, Craig, and Aaron will be along right after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching ABC Sports Championship Television. Boston College leads at 24-7. For Boston College, and a very successful first half for he and his teammates, 24-7 over West Virginia, with the Big East Championship up for grabs here. Now West Virginia has got to come from behind. They can do it. They've got the offense. Marshall directs them. The question is, getting this football first, can they get on the board first here in this second half to get it started, as they won the toss and then deferred for the first half. Welcome back, everybody, as we get set to go. Boston College on the kick. Jones on the far side will let that one go back to the 3-yard line, carried up to the 10 and over the 20 to about the 23-yard line, where they'll take over first down and 10. Dr. Jerry Punch down on the field at Cunningham. I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us on our coverage of college football. West Virginia now has a task in front of them with all this bowl stuff up for grabs.
Well, there's so many things up for grabs. If West Virginia loses today and it gets Pitt, now Boston College and Syracuse can sneak in and take the BCS bowl bid. For West Virginia, I think really the key, don't get out of your offense. If you score on this drive, you cut it to 10, you got an entire half to play. Continue running it, and Marshall is the guy who's got to do it.
As they say, their offense will go just as far as he goes, and right now they will get the football. It'll be a first down and 10. Ball, well, hang on a minute. Timeout, West Virginia. Did they fumble that kick? Wow, Peterson, Boston College, apologize. Boston, I did not realize they had forced a fumble on that play, and Boston College has got the football. I did not see that.
No, it looked like the play had ended.
It looked like the play had ended and there was no fumble, but Boston College sent the offensive team out, and sure enough, that's what it was. Let's check in with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Guys, there was a little bit of confusion. One official signaled a fumble, and then it would be Boston College possession. Another official signaled first down, West Virginia. We had both offenses on the field a moment ago, and not until just a moment ago did the Mountaineer offense run off and Boston College's offense run on. So a little bit of confusion here to begin the second half.
Boy, I guess, and what a big confusion it is, because Boston College, let's take a look at this again, as this ball is carried by Vaughn Rivers on the kickoff for West Virginia.
Well, and the question becomes, was his forward momentum stopped? And no, I don't think it was. That was just a sensational play by Jamie Silva. Silva finished it, took it right out of the hands of Rivers. And even though he was going sideways, I think that was the correct call. And I could see why there might have been some confusion, but just a great play by Silva.
Well, first down and 10 for Boston College. Peterson on the handoff and going nowhere on the carry is Whitworth, who had the big first half. Boy, the Mountaineer defense, Lorello in on the tackle. Are they being called on for a big first series here?
Well, watch Jamie Silva. He goes right in and grabs the ball, and as he spins away from Rivers, he's able to take it. This is just a really nice job of Silva. He found himself in position with the ball. He was just going for the tackle and said, you know what? I might as well finish it. And that's really been the story. This play right here is indicative of the way this game has gone. The Boston College players are finishing plays. The West Virginia players simply are not.
Second down and 15, Boston College deep in West Virginia territory. Peterson lofts one for the end zone. It is incomplete. Had the receiver at a step, but Adam Jones, Pac-Man, moved up and reached in and knocked that pass down, or Boston College would have had another one. Good play.
As he got spun around, Adam Jones found himself in a weird spot and was able to get his hand up at the last second. Otherwise, that looked like it was going to be 6.
Boston College going for the putaway. Here's a third down and 15, Boston College. 7 for 11 in the first half on third down conversions. Peterson with 13 for 21, 134 yards. Third down, 15, ball at the 27, and a timeout is going to be taken this time. It'll be the Eagles of Boston College who will make the call. So a stunning start to the second half and a surprising one. And now the Eagles have a big third down play in the opening moments of this second half. Obviously, next touchdown is vital in this game because if West Virginia gets it, they're right back in it. If Boston College scores another, the Mountaineers have just a huge comeback in front of them if that happens. Let's see what Doc found out during the half. Doctor?
Well, guys, first of all, in the Mountaineer locker room at halftime, I've got to believe these guys are going to come out and play with more emotion in the second half. There was a lot of emotion about the fact that there was not a lot of intensity in the first half. Defensively, the Mountaineers want to continue to cover it in the secondary when the quarterback scrambles. Offensively, they talked about not changing who they were. West Virginia wants to come out, establish a run in the second half, and then take their shots upfield. Don't panic early on, run the football, and then take some deep shots.
And that's exactly what we were just saying, Doc, that, you know, West Virginia, it looked like if they were starting on offense, they wouldn't have to change. But if Boston College can convert here and even get 3 points out of it, they might have to start. They definitely have to go to their jet for West Virginia, which means they're going to be in their hurry-up for almost the entire second half.
So here's the big third down play. 7 for 11 on third downs. 3rd and 15, Boston College. Paul Peterson in the pocket, looking fakes. Peterson looking to the end zone. He's maybe at the line of scrimmage and has to dump that one off. And got hit afterwards, and a flag, two flags go down.
Well, I think they're going to get Peterson for throwing the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. But I think they then get a personal foul on West Virginia, which would just be a terrible. That's the call on Paul Peterson, but I think then they get a late hit.
West Virginia had 4 penalties for 29 yards lost in that first. BC 2 and 10.
Illegal forward pass, number 18, beyond the line of scrimmage. It's a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down, 4th down.
He didn't throw another flag. He just picked it up and adjusted it. I thought they threw another flag for a late hit. It didn't look like anybody hit him late, but it was tough to see with the angle that we have.
So Boston College in the first half had a 3 and out only once. And now here to start the Second half, after they get the kickoff return fumble recovery, they are now down to a 4th down and 18. It'll be a field goal attempt, and it'll be a 47-yarder. He kicked a 44-yarder, a career high earlier. Oliger will try it again. It is up, and this one is good.
Wow.
Just enough, and he adds to it again. Well, what a game for your field goal kicker to set 2 career marks in distance. 27-7 BC. Well, the Eagle has soared today so far. Not over yet, but a 27-7 win for Boston College. Some of their cheerleaders on hand here today, along with the mascot. The Rivers has come out after fumbling that kickoff, and Ryan Wright has come on. The kick will go to Jones deep into the end zone. He wants to bring it out, though, from about 4 yards deep. 10, 15. Does get back to the 20 and up to the 26-yard line, so a good return and a not bad field position for the Mountaineers.
Well, and we talked, Dr. Punch showed earlier in a graphic the 3 styles of no huddle that West Virginia runs. They're regular, where they'll get it down inside of 10 seconds. They're what they call Indy, where they'll snap it between 10 and 15 seconds, or they're jet, where they're trying to snap it with more than 20 seconds on the play clock. I don't think they need to get out of their offense, which is a run-based offense, but I think they're going to need to be in their jet, hurry-up style no huddle for the rest of this ballgame.
All right, Marshall is out there. A couple of setbacks with him. Rasheed Marshall, the senior at quarterback for West Virginia. A little high snap. He had to haul that one in. Harris on the carry, and boy, can he charge 40. Trying to get to midfield. He'll go to the 46-yard line. He is some fun to watch run. 21-yard gain. Let's check in with Dr. Bunch.
As guys at halftime, Tom O'Brien talked about the fact they got to contain Marshall here in the second half. Marshall very, very electric when he gets the offense moving. Got to contain the handoff sweep play. I said, any other thoughts in the second half? He said, yeah, against this offense, coach. He said, hold your breath. He said, I'm very concerned about how quickly they can move the football and score.
Well, Harris is over 100 yards now in the game. 106 for K.J. Harris, who had that last run, a first down and 10, ball at the 46-yard line, West Virginia. Harris again on the carry and deked a little bit, trying to find a little room with that front 4. Helped out by the linebackers, puts the stop on Ray Henderson after a 1-yard gain.
And I'm going to go back to Dr. Punch was just talking about the play that O'Brien was concerned about, was the one they just ran, where he goes to hand it off. Rasheed Marshall goes to hand it off, and he reads the defensive end. Well, Boston College's defensive end have not respected that one time today. And Marshall has not kept it one time. He's going to have to keep that ball one time and get outside, because there is some big yards waiting to be had.
Into the flats, bad pass will go incomplete at midfield. Let's take a look at our Pack Life first half stats.
Well, if you went by the stats, you would think the game was tied, because at the half, everything was pretty much same. The turnover for West Virginia was the bad pass by Rasheed Marshall, but pretty much everything else evened up. But just the momentum continued for Boston College. They sustained drives. West Virginia got some chunks of yardage, but could never sustain many drives.
And boy, it still looks like West Virginia's having problems getting these plays in. This is a 3rd down and 8. 4 receivers are there, 2 on each side for Marshall. Big 3rd down play for them. They've gone 4 for 9. 3rd conversions. Back at his own 40, drops it over the middle, completed at midfield, but that's well shy of a first down. Chris Henry, nowhere to go. Brian Toll, after a 3-yard gain, put the hit on. And Toll, do they love this kid? He's already been mentioned a number of times. He is a true freshman. It's his 5th start. He's tied for the team lead with 49 tackles. He was the Big East Defensive Player of the Week last week, and you're going to hear a lot from Toll in Boston College in years to come.
Where's number 16? His brother Greg was a fullback at Boston College up until last year's number 16.
Forces the punt from the 38-yard line. Boston College is going to take the fair catch. That'll be at about the 13, where Treble, who had returned a punt for a touchdown, hauls that one in. 27-7, Boston College on top. Coming up when we return, a look at a season where one mistake can result in a big turnaround. Boston College knows all about that. We do. Pontiac in the first ever G6, the next official performance machine of the NCAA. Miller, there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call. And a City Business Card with real live small business specialists on the phone. That is the infamous Woodburn Hall.
Infamous.
You see that on every brochure having to do with this great university here at West Virginia. And there are some great old buildings here, not only on the college campus, but also in Morgantown. But right now, the center of attention's here on their football team, which is down 27-7 to Boston College, which has in many ways dominated this game, even if not on the numbers. Peterson starts it out. BC's got a first down at 10, rolls near side. That's going to be completed at the 20, shy of a first down by about a yard, as they are getting a little room. Boston College reception, Everett Lee out of the backfield, a gain of 9. For Boston College on a look back, this is a play that they thought was going to cost them a season. They had to come from behind. They have lost 2 games. Against Pittsburgh, it was an overtime loss, but they took advantage of it. Notre Dame.
297 yards passing in the second half, including as we get the radio call,
including that comeback.
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez with the great catch.
And that one taken out of bounds near side. Everett Lee, the fullback. Peterson, a 5-yard gain. And they're working to these guys out of the backfield now and then finding some room. That's going to be a first down. And Boston College continues to move it. So Boston College had that loss to Wake Forest and then the overtime loss to Pittsburgh. 2 and out is what they thought. But they battled back. Notre Dame, Rutger wins after that. And now here they are with a chance at a championship in the Big East. First down and 10. Peterson the fake. Gets the big rush and he gets sacked. He is down for the loss, and we'll get an update on Minnesota from John Saunders.
Well, Gary's the singular All-America Player of the Week. You might want to vote for Lawrence Maroney. 14 carries, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns. To vote, text the word player to 64444 on your cell phone or log on to ESPN.com, keyword singular. Gary, back to you.
John, thank you very much. John keeping us updated on big scores that are going on around the country. Important games, obviously, as we close in on the end of this college football season. Out of the shotgun, Peterson, big rush, the blitz, and incomplete. Tried to go over center that time. Larry Lester was open, but he was under severe pressure.
And this is where Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator for West Virginia, I think has to start taking chances, as he has. They've got to do something to try to force either a turnover or another 3 and out and get their offense back on the field and hope that their offense eventually will get something going.
Lennart putting the pressure on along with Kevin McLeod. The 2 linebackers that time. Now a 3rd down and 19. There have been 5 sacks recorded in this game by West Virginia. Boston College looking for a big first down. Peterson over the middle, almost intercepted and then almost caught. Wouldn't have been enough for the first down in any event. Good play by Mike Lorello on the coverage, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And West Virginia's got to get something going, and the best way to get something going is blocking a kick. You're already going to get good field position. Ayers, the punter for Boston College, has averaged under 40 yards per punt for the year. I think you come after this, try to block it, and see if you can't get a quick 7 on the block.
Ayers had 3 punts first half for 48 yards average, and a 59-yarder included among the 3. Far better than his totals coming into the game. Charge held up. That'll hit at the 45-yard line, taken back at the 37. Trying to find a little room outside Boston College. Good coverage. They'll bring it down at the 45-yard line, as Will Blackman was there for Boston College. A 44-yard kick and a 7-yard return. Well, West Virginia getting down to the now or never territory. They've got to find a way to get some points up on the board.
Yeah, this is the drive that you think if they don't get anything out of this, it's just going to be hurry up and throw the ball down the field the rest of the ball game. Again, I think they can stay in their base offense, but I think when the clock is running, when the game clock is running, they need to be snapping it with right at 20 seconds left on the play clock.
Marshall, their senior, 9 out of 14, 80 yards and 1 costly interception. 1st and 10, ball at their own 44 for the Mountaineers. Harris, the fake. No, he's got it, and he's brought down in the backfield, and there's just no room. Tim Bullman, that front 4 of Boston College today, has lived up to every accolade they had coming in.
And the one thing that's been really mystifying to me is how little Rasheed Marshall has been involved in the run game. Almost every time he's run the ball, it's been on a run-pass option or a scramble. And that was the one thing that Boston College was so.
This is going to be a 4th down and 7 now after that update for you. The kick by West Virginia, as they could not get the offense going, will be handled at the 10-yard line. Tribbles return one punt for a touchdown, won't hear. In fact, he loses a couple after he hauled that one in, and Boston College will be deep in their own territory. A 43-yard punt, a -1 on the return. L.J. Mountaineers, redshirted freshman, put the hit on. See. Mountaineers trying to find some motivation anywhere you can when you're down 27-7. They do have a chance here if the defense can get the job done, as Boston College has it 1st and 10, but at the 9-yard line. Peterson at quarterback. They want a little running room here. Hand off to the 11-yard line. Callender will have a gain of 3 on that one. We're going to get a Michigan update from John Saunders. John.
Well, Gary, the true freshman running back has taken over the game once again. Michael Hart already 15 yards in this run, 135 on the day, 3rd touchdown of the day. The Wolverines now in command 28-13, and Boise State is losing to San Jose State.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yes.
Boise State, one of those teams on the outside looking into the BCS.
2nd down and 7. Again, looking for running room. Up to about the 14 goes Callender. He'll have a gain of 2. Ben Lynch moved in to put the tackle on, the 6'4 senior. And that will bring up a 3rd down and about 3 yards.
Yeah, you can expect Boston College to not be dropping back in 5- and 7-step drops much for the rest of this game. If they're going to do anything, I think even on a play like this, you might want to boot Peterson out because he has the ability to run it and keep this clock melting away.
It is a 3rd and 4 now out of the shotgun. Ball's just at the 15-yard line. 3 receivers, 2 near side. Peterson goes over the middle into a pack, incomplete for Lester, who got his head taken off as Jamie Odai was there. Pass a little behind him, and he reached back to try and get it. Now Odai put the hit on.
And once again, I think that West Virginia has to do something here. Their offense is just completely out of sync. And the only way I think they're going to get back in this is some kind of big play, either a defensive score or a big play on special teams.
All right, Harris again being asked to kick, standing down at the 1-yard line. Punting game becomes vital, more so now for Boston College. Try and deny West Virginia good field position. He gets off a booming kick all the way back to the 30 on the hit, and it rolls inside the 10. What a kick for their freshman Johnny Ayers, who in today's game may have come into his own.
Yes.
He was a concern coming into the game as a young freshman. 76-yarder.
And the one bright spot for West Virginia so far has been the running of K.J. Harris. He told us yesterday that his mother traveled up from Florida and is here today to see him play for the first time at West Virginia. 13 carries, 106 yards. He had 4 touchdowns last week. They'll take just 1 from him right now to try to get back in this game. What a great punt to pen the Mountaineers deep by Harris.
He has averaged 6 yards a carry on the season, over 100 yards here in this game. Long way to go. 1st and 10, ball at the 9-yard line after that 76-yard punt, including the roll. Carried near side into the flats, caught and down at about the 16-yard line as Pennington. John Pennington on the near side was open. Trouble on the coverage for Boston College.
Well, we talked about Boston College trying to melt the clock. For West Virginia, not only do I think they need to be in their jet no huddle, which means the hurry-up version of it, which they are right now, but they need to work the sidelines as much as possible. And if Pennington could have gotten out of bounds, he would have. If they're going to be on the sidelines, they need to step out of bounds and save some clock.
6:46 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Under center, Marshall on the roll this time. Marshall lets it go. That's going to be incomplete at the 25-yard line, and he got nailed as he let go of the football. And what a game Ray Henderson has played today, a freshman. He put the hit on Marshall.
Here's the 3 different types of no huddle that they run. They're normal, which they'll snap the ball anywhere under 12 seconds in the play clock. They may change the play 2 or 3 times from the sidelines. They're Indy, which they may change it once, but they're really trying to get the play off, and then jet, where they're actually trying to snap the ball as soon as the umpire sets it for play, which is what they're in right now.
And a 3rd down and 3 with the ball at the 16-yard line. Big 3rd down play. They are 4 for 11 out of the shotgun. The slant's going to be enough for the 1st down to the 30-yard line as Chris Henry able to haul that one in, and a 1st down on the reception, a gain of 15 yards. Keep in mind, coming into this game, they had the 6th best pass efficiency in the nation, this West Virginia team, and number 1 in the Big East. It has not looked that way so far today.
No, and I think the fans have been booing a little bit, and I think it's because they haven't really taken any shots down the field. And Boston College is one of those teams, the way they play their zone is not going to allow you a lot of run bys, but I think they at least need to try a few down the field.
This is Harris on the carry, and Harris finds very little room. You can take that play out of your playbook for today. A gain of 1. Ryan Glasper, the strong safety, on the hit.
But the option off of it is Rasheed Marshall faking the handoff and keeping it himself. And the Boston College defensive ends, Metling on the one side and Kiwanuku on the other, they haven't had to watch the fake at all. They've been able to crash down and not keep their backside responsibility.
Boston College has given up only an average of 140 yards a game rushing this season, and you've seen why here today. That's straight on the fake. Throw downfield, little bump and run, and that's going to be incomplete all the way down at the 25. DeJuan Treble, good coverage there for Boston College on a long hold by Marshall.
Well, it was a great fake, but the only problem was nobody from Boston College bid on it. It's a great fake. He sticks the ball behind his back. It looked like the play was over. This is the play they just run to KJ before, and he hides it behind his back. But the problem was Tribble was with it the whole way, and that ball thrown to the inside, very close to an interception.
Stay with your receivers. That's one of the things that shows up when you're looking at tape of the team you're playing against, to be aware of those. The other thing is to stay with it. He did. 3rd down and 9 with the ball at their own 32. West Virginia with the football over the middle. That is incomplete. Caught at the 45-yard line. Henderson, a good catch, 12-yard gain, and a 1st down for West Virginia.
And they're going to get up to the line of scrimmage as quick as they can. There's just a slant by Henderson. He's working one-on-one against Peter Sheehan. Good job getting inside, and the ball led to the inside number by Marshall. Nice throw and catch.
Henderson's 2nd reception. He's had a total of 11 yards gained today. Again, they try and hurry it up, but it's not working. Clock starts as they look to the sideline. Marshall came all the way over to talk to Rodriguez, his head coach this time. Goes back into the shotgun. The 2 receivers are up on that wide side. 1st down and 10, 45-yard line. He's got a carry. 50, 45. We were talking about it. He'll take it into Boston College territory, and we'll check in with Doc.
Guys, on 4 of the last 5 plays, West Virginia snapped the ball with 12 or less seconds, fewer seconds on the clock, and they're taking their time. And apparently what's happening is Rasheed Marshall wants a little bit more time to look at the defense and also give the offensive line some time to think about the protection or the run blocking scheme. That's why they have slowed it down to be a little bit more deliberate on this drive.
They are 1st down and 10 right here with the ball at the 41-yard line. Carried on the come around near side and out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. That's Pernell Williams, the freshman. Williams had a little room once he turned around that corner. I want to remind you, coming up, 2nd half of ABC's college football doubleheader. Most of you will see the showdown in the ACC. Miami takes on Virginia. Others, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Texas Tech, Texas A&M. Next, right here on ABC Sports.
Wisconsin, an interesting story.
Yeah.
The best defense, I think, in the country. Erasmus James and Antaj Hawthorne in the middle. I don't think there's any team in the country that could consistently move the ball on them.
Timeout here for the chains to be brought across from the far side of the field. See if they picked up this 1st down or not. We will keep reminding you, for those who have been with us, you'll hear it again, but the importance of this game. This is about the Big East Championship that's up for grabs here between these 2 teams and a BCS Bowl berth.
And the way the Big East works, if Boston College ends up winning this game and they end up tied in the Big East Conference with West Virginia, if West Virginia goes on and beats Pittsburgh on Thanksgiving night, it looks like West Virginia will finish 5 or more spots ahead of BC in the final BCS rankings. And in the Big East, even though Boston College won the head-to-head, because of the final BCS rankings, West Virginia would most likely go to either the Fiesta or the Sugar Bowl.
Of course, you get the automatic berth out of the Big East, and these two teams vying for that. Boston College has had a day of it here with a 27-7 lead. A first down you saw gained. Harris on the carry this time to the 30-yard line, a gain of 1.
K.J. Harris on the carry.
And take a look at Syracuse Temple, 34-17, Temple leading.
Well, Temple will, West Virginia will tell you that Walter Washington, the quarterback at Temple, is a load. He is a great player, almost 250 pounds. They use him a lot like Rasheed Marshall uses West Virginia. And he had well over 300 yards of total offense against West Virginia last week.
Now we've got a 2nd down and 9. Harris in his last 4 carries has gained 1 yard. And that was it. 2nd down and 9 here. Looking to the far sideline, shy of a first down, but incomplete in any event.
Sun.
Pennington looking right back into that sun.
Yeah, as it sets over our right shoulders, that's right back into Pennington's eyes. But the Syracuse score is very important in the Big East as well. They have 1 loss in conference and play Boston College to finish out the year. So if West Virginia were to go on to lose today and Pitt, if Syracuse were able to pull out, but it doesn't look like they're going to pull out the win against Temple, they would have been in the mix for the BCS as well.
Yep. All right, another big 3rd down play here. 3rd down and 9. Back Marshall. Marshall a lot of time. Avoids one reach. He's going to get the first down. No! Looked like he had room, and then the guy Henderson came back and somehow closed a lot of daylight up in a hurry, and he will be shy of the first down after a 6-yard gain. Near the conclusion of our game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Can I get that?
No, you can't. You do not qualify. You were not down there in the field. No, not you.
Please?
We could put it in your name, but it's not going to go to your college scholarship fund. I'll tell you that. All right, 4th down.
Yeah.
4th down, they're going to go here.
And I think they have to go for it. I think this is the correct call by you got to think touchdown, not field goal.
They're 0 for 1 on 4th down conversions. Not this time. That one's going to be caught, and that is a first down. Harrison, he got hit hard. And that was Jasmine Williams, the junior of Boston College, who put that hit on Harris and leaves him on the field.
Well, and a lot of credit to Harris for hanging on to that ball because Williams read that coming. He was squatting in zone, and he came off of his assignment and hit K.J. Harris right in the midsection. Let's hope this is just the wind knocked out of Harris.
So Harris is going to be down for a bit here. Gets the training squad coming out to assist, and you could feel that. That's one of those hits you feel up in the press box and the back of the stands.
And again, I hope this is just the wind knocked out. We had mentioned earlier in the game, hit him right on the thigh. And this is the first ball game that K.J. Harris's mother has ever been able to attend.
And he's had a 100-yard game here again, 4th consecutive 100-yard game for him. Let's get down to Dr. Punch.
Guys, at halftime, I had a chance to go up and visit with KJ's mom, Dolores, who came all the way from Tampa, Florida, for the first time, as we mentioned earlier, to see her son play. And she said she brought her triplets, her 3 16-year-old daughters, Brianna, Brianka, and Brittany, and they were so excited. They were a little bit frustrated about the first half. She said, I know KJ, he's going to want, this whole team's going to want to put it up in the second half and make a big difference. And I know that they're very concerned sitting up in the stands. She came a long way to see her son play for the first time on his last home game here on this field, and now a look of concern from that family as they examine the left knee. That is Mike Karen, by the way, the head trainer examining, I should say, Dave Kearns examining that left knee here on K.J. Harris.
For parents of any athlete at any age, these are the moments that are just hated, dreaded, when you have a potential injury here. Watch the hit again.
Yeah, the leg was planted. It looks like he hyperextended that left knee. Just wasn't able to go airborne. As Williams came off, Harris didn't see him coming. Usually a player will go airborne and get his leg out of the turf, but at that point was not able to get it pulled up.
At least he's able to get back up, and it looks like he'll leave under his own speed. We'll check in for another Michigan update. John.
Well, Gary, another Michigan update and another freshman, Chad Henne this time, the freshman quarterback to Steve Breston. Great pass, gets it across. 10 yards it covers, in Michigan right now blowing out Northwestern at home, 35-13. Gary.
And
Once they got started, they can't be stopped.
You know, and there's a lot of people in college football who think that true freshmen should be ineligible from competition for academic reasons and everything else. There's not many coaches in America. When you have guys like Henne and Hart and Adrian Peterson and Danny Ware at Georgia that are going to sign on for that rule.
All right, we get a first down and 10 here. Ball at the 17, 13 yards on that last play gained by Harris. First and 10 here. Well, he's going to try and carry himself up to about the 15-yard line. Marshall on the carry, and he tried to gather some blockers. He had Michael Watson, a senior, left tackle, out in front of him. Another player for West Virginia down on the field. Boy, this has been a physical game was expected here. Ryan Thomas, the tight end, is the man down. Boston College plays a very physical game anyway, and West Virginia knew that was going to be the case, and it's beginning to show up here in this second half.
Well, and West Virginia has kind of gotten bogged down at the end of this drive. It looked like they were hurrying up pretty well, but now they're letting this clock melt down, getting towards the fourth quarter. And if they don't come away, I thought going for it on fourth down on the play that KJ Harris was injured was the right call, but they need to speed things up a little bit.
14 plays involved here in this drive so far, and let's get an update on the other injury, Doc.
Well, good news here on the Mountaineers sidelines. KJ Harris took a helmet and took a little frontal blow on that knee, but he's running around and it's not unstable at all. Ligaments are intact. Didn't really even hyperextend it very much, so he should be going back in hopefully within a play or two.
Good news. And now Thomas goes down on that play, trying to help out in the blocking. He is the tight end here, number 81.
Keep the feet moving. It's always difficult. You know, you're finishing a block and you have no idea what's coming. The best way to not get hurt is continue to get the left ankle was stuck in the ground as he was trying to block Henderson, the linebacker. And all those bodies come flying in. Sometimes it's a wonder that this doesn't happen more often. There are as many plays as bodies are flying around behind people. It's unusual. It doesn't happen more often.
And this also was a concern when we were talking with Rodriguez, the coach of West Virginia, about his defense here. Now Harris has come right back into the game, so he's back in the backfield. KJ Harris back in there, and flags go flying with the clock ticking.
Unbelievable.
Boy.
Yeah, they're just out of sorts.
Illegal substitution.
What a disorganized day.
With 12 men.
An illegal substitution.
5-yard penalty. Second down.
Just amazing. Let's check in again with John Saunders. John.
Gary, Boise State trying to remain in the ranks of the unbeaten, facing San Jose State. They scored a touchdown to tie the game, got it back on an interception, and then get the touchdown from 3 yards out and now lead 42-35.
Pretty good offensive battle there. Another quarter left to go. A second down and 13. Play on the option. He keeps it and will take it inside the 15-yard line. Rasheed Marshall on the carry. And for the first time in the game, he gets up 7. We're seeing him now carrying the football.
Well, my question is, why did they wait until the end of the third quarter? I mean, this was such a big part of their offense all week, and it's just been absolute domination by West Virginia. The problem is, how many points do they have to show for it? Exactly 0.
15th play coming up here in this series. Third down, though, a third down and 6. Big third down, the 6 for 14. Back into the pocket, end zone. That's going to be incomplete. Double coverage on the near side. Good coverage by Jasmine Williams again. It'll bring up a fourth down. Let's check in on the Thomas injury, Doc.
And unfortunately, Ryan Thomas, guys, done for the afternoon. The senior tight end, a first-degree MCL sprain on the left knee, so he will not come back in this afternoon.
Thomas down on the sideline. We're going to get another fourth down play here. Fourth down and 6, ball at the 13. They're 1 for 2 on fourth down conversions, including one that they did convert on in this drive.
Move the pocket. Get Marshall out on the edge. He's got the speed to pick it up.
Oh, flags go flying. They look back to the near side. That's going to be incomplete.
Now, it looked to me.
And that is Tim Bowman of Boston College, who hit Marshall.
Yeah, and I think they got an encroachment and Tim Bowman for a late hit on the quarterback. Well, Bowman's for sure in the neutral zone, so he's going to get both penalties. Yeah, the ball was well gone. It wasn't a dirty hit, it was just a late hit.
Number 96, that penalty is declined. Roughing the passer, number 96, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
So you get all your penalties out in just
Get him out. One shot.
Bowman
one
said,
fell
look,
swoop.
I'm going to have one play here. I'll just get rid of all this for the game. And he also has to come off the field.
Well, Bowman's one of those guys. We mentioned the name Chris Hovan earlier. Frank Spaziani said he's Chris Hovan-like. He didn't say he was Chris Hovan. That's one of the best defensive linemen in the last 10 or 15 years in college football. But he plays that way, and sometimes you have to take the bad with the good, and that time got a lot of bad.
And that's a bad penalty, 2 of them, because now after a 4th down and long yardage, it's a 1st down. 1st and goal from the 7 for West Virginia. Big penalty carried by Harris. Carries a couple of tacklers and picks up a yard. Ricky Brown came in tied for the lead in tackles for Boston College. Put the hit on there.
Okay, it's time for West Virginia to get out of their offense. It's the inside running game has not done anything for them so far in the entire ball game. The clock is melting away. We're almost to the 4th quarter. You're down 20. You've got to start throwing it on almost every down. Put it in the hands of your quarterback.
16 plays on this drive, and they're still not in. A 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line. Here's the little slant. That's deflected, and it's going to be incomplete. And again, down goes Rasheed Marshall after he threw the football. That got deflected on the way in and was close to being intercepted.
He's had a couple of balls deflected. This defensive front for Boston College, very, very well coached. If you're not going to get there, and that time the offensive linemen were going to cut block, they did a nice job using their hands, getting them off and getting their hands back up in the passing line.
Another 3rd down and goal to go from the 7-yard line. 4 receivers. He goes back under quarterback this time with Harris in the backfield. Lobs one into the corner. Caught for the touchdown! And that's Chris Henry.
6'5" versus 5'9". I'd take the 6'5". Looked like Henry pushed off to me. Used his inside right hand to push off on DeJuan Tribble, who was in coverage. But it may have happened early enough in the throw that the official didn't see it.
Here's Brad Cooper coming on for the extra point. It is down, it is up, and it is good. And a big touchdown, and they're back in the game.
Now they're going to need something from their defense, but let's take a look and see if Chris Henry did, in fact, push off. This ball thrown behind him on purpose. Watch the right hand. We'll give it to him.
This Sunday, America's biggest musical artists are going head-to-head. It's the American Music Awards live on ABC. Who will be crowned favorite female? And will Usher sweep them all? With special appearances by Lenny Kravitz, Jessica Simpson, Kenny Chesney, the solo debut of Gwen Stefani, plus Clay Aiken, and see a special sneak peek at next week's Desperate Housewives. Who will win the biggest award in music? Jimmy Kimmel hosts the American Music Awards live Sunday at 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
27-14, senior day here in West Virginia, their last home game. A chance for a conference title, a chance for a BCS bowl berth. They are trailing 27-14. Here's that play again.
Let's see, penalty or just good, clean football? You got to let him go with that. I think that's a good no call. When I watched it from up here, it looked like Henry may have pushed off. He got his hand in there, but it was a good throw by Rasheed Marshall. You know, everyone thinks you've got to put that ball to the outside. If the defender has his back to you, throw it to the inside, especially when you have a size mismatch, and Henry comes back inside and makes a nice play.
And you see the 12th touchdown reception of the season. He is their leader in that department. And now Boston College needs to get the football and hang on to it again. It'll be taken at the 15 by Blackman, 30, Blackman, 40, and a fine return up to about the 43-44-yard line. And that has made a difference for Boston College in this game. Their returns, Blackman, who averages 30 yards on kickoff returns, that time gets 27.
And Boston College needs to not go into their prevent offense. Everyone always talks about prevent defense when you play off and give them slants and hitches. They need to let Paul Peterson play here. In the first and second quarter, they really moved the ball around. They allowed Peterson to make some plays with his arms. I think they need to stay in that mode on this drive.
They've had only 2 yards in the third quarter to West Virginia's 119. Peterson in the flats at the 45 on the completion, and maybe another yard on the carry. Everett Lee, the fullback, who's become a favorite target. That's his 6th reception. He's tripling what he had coming into the game just in this game alone.
And I really like what Tom O'Brien allowed his offensive coordinator, Dana Bible, to do on that. They went and do a shotgun with no backs in the backfield. And just as we're talking about the prevent offense, your offense can cost you a game down the stretch that you're ahead in, just like your defense, by not getting anything done.
Callender is in the backfield. Second down and 6, and he's not going to go anywhere there. And put that football out almost too far, and this defense, Ben Lynch, one of them, they are excited. Dropped him for a 2-yard loss as the third quarter ticks down. The West Virginia defense trying to get the football back to their offense, and another chance. They've still got a quarter to go. The chance for the Big East Championship is still up in the air. So is that BCS berth. College football will return after this message and a word from John.
What's going on, Gary, is not very good if you're a fan of the Longhorns. Ryan Luke here for Kansas. 22 yards to Charles Gordon. He gets it down to the 1 before he's stuck. From there, Austin Wabusi goes across for the touchdown. Jayhawks leading it 16-13, Gary.
John will keep us updated on that one. And a 4th down and 4 at the 48-yard line, ball spotted. Does he take that ball high in the air before he kicks it? Look where he kicks it. Fair catch called for and taken at the 9-yard line as Jones, Pac-Man Jones, put it away. A 43-yard kick. Fine punting in this game by Johnny Ayers today has made a difference in field position for West Virginia, as they're trying to fire themselves up in a vital game for both of these teams, preseason favorites to win the Big East, and here they are in a battle for that very title. Boston College, West Virginia. Great to have you with us. We've still got 14-15 to go. A sellout crowd on hand here today in West Virginia, trying to get their offense going. Has had one good drive already here in the second half. Harris in the backfield on the carry. He'll bring it up to about the 12-yard line, and a couple of yards gained on that one.
Can I say it again?
Yes.
Can Rasheed Marshall keep that ball one time? Just once.
Last series, he had 4 carries.
Yeah, he did it once, but I want to keep seeing it because Boston College is not honoring him keeping the ball at all.
He drops back into the pocket from his own 5-yard line, heaves one down to midfield, a battle for it. It is caught into Boston College territory. Chris Henry. Henry caught the touchdown pass, and he took that from Will Blackman. 41 yards.
It's almost impossible to put into context how important Chris Henry is to the West Virginia offense's passing game. This is not a passing team. The 4th leading rushing team in America. They run the ball almost 3 times as often as they throw it. But it seems like every time they throw the ball down the field, Chris Henry comes up with a big play.
A very big play. 48-yard line of Boston College. First down at 10 out of the shotgun. They look to the near side flats. That one is thrown by Marshall. Incomplete on the first down pass. Pennington, the intended. Now he's having trouble seeing the signs, looking to his bench in the sun. He looks to either his coach or the backup quarterback, and only he knows which is giving the real signs. He and the receivers in backfield look over. Rodriguez keeps the backup quarterback right near him. You see right there, number 11, and they both go through the signs, and which one's giving them, you don't know. Second down and 10. Again out of that shotgun. Harris on the carry, and he'll go to the line of scrimmage and then a yard. Boy, there's so little room. Want to remind you, coming up, don't miss second half of ABC's college football's doubleheader. Most of you are going to see a very big game in the ACC, Miami and Virginia. Others will see Wisconsin, Michigan State, or Texas Tech, Texas A&M. That's right here on ABC Sports coming up next. The hurry-up offense that has not hurried it up very much.
No.
A 3rd down and 9, 7 for 16, 3rd down conversions. Ball at the 47-yard line, West Virginia into BC territory. From the sun to the shade, collisions downfield. That's going to be complete, and that's a first down at the 32, Pennington.
And the difference, remember earlier in the game, Rasheed Marshall made this throw and it was an interception. The difference this time is he sets his feet. Earlier in the game, you really never want a quarterback throwing it this far back across when he's rolling to his right. But the difference is he sets his feet, he throws it low and hard, and Pennington able to make a really nice catch. But he got the ball there a lot faster than he did earlier in the game when he threw the pick.
16-yard gain, first down and 10. Ball at the 31-yard line. Fake up the middle. Here's the flip and the option at the 30, and boy, did they have that one covered. There was no room. on that one. Good tackle made by Peter Sheen, who moved up from the defensive backfield position. Those watching the Northwestern Michigan game, we welcome you. Mountaineer territory. This is a battle for the Big East title and a BCS bowl berth. BC has dominated the game. They lead 27-14, but West Virginia scored one touchdown here in the second half, and now they're driving for another. Marshall back in the pocket, looking down the sideline, complete at the 15-yard line, and up to about the 11, and Chris Henry's suddenly become a big factor in this game.
This is going to sound like an obvious statement, but the reason Chris Henry continually makes good plays is he catches the ball with his hands. Most guys get into a habit, especially young players like Henry, of cradling the ball, but every time the ball is thrown, Henry does a nice job, and you can catch the ball. When you catch it with your hands, it allows you to pick up more yardage after the catch, because if you cradle it, you tend to fall down.
Marshall now 18 out of 30, 208 yards throwing the football, and it's a first down and 10 at the 11-yard line, so they can get a first down on this drive without having to score. Marshall, Harris trying to go wide, trying to turn the corner, driven out of bounds at the 10. About a gain of 1 right there. Boston College had a 24-7 lead at the half. Not necessarily surprising they had the lead, but it was surprising that they had that big a lead against a West Virginia team that has been a first half offensive team this year. And Boston College trying to win one here for the first time in their Big East history, playing at West Virginia.
And the difference really early was the running game of Boston College, which had been absent the 3 games before, averaging under 70 yards per game. But the second half has been all West Virginia offense.
Second down and 9. Rolling near side, looking to the end zone, a chance to run it to the 10, driven out of bounds, and they're picking up just 1 yard at a time at most. Just nowhere to go. Marshall had run out of room on the near side, and it's going to bring up a third down.
West Virginia runs a no-huddle offense. They run a normal type no-huddle where they can change the play 2 and 3 times, and they'll snap it somewhere around 8 seconds on the play clock. Indy a little bit hurried up. They don't try to change it a lot. And Jet, which they've tried to be in for most of the second half, although they really haven't gotten to the hurry up as much as we thought they would.
Third down and a long 7. Harris in the backfield. The lob toss to the end zone. Almost intercepted by Stansel. Henry saying he was held on to and never got to the spot of where the pass was thrown.
Well, and to me, this looked like pass interference. In college football, there is no 5-yard rule, but the ball can't be in the air. And this ball is thrown, and Henry's trying to run a fade. He was stabbed right at the line of scrimmage by Sheehan, and they wanted that call, and I'm not so sure they shouldn't have gotten it.
I think he got away with one there, so they're going to have to go for the field goal on a 4th down and a 7. Brad Cooper will come out to do the kicking. It'll be a 25-yarder for Cooper. And Cooper coming into the game 7 out of 12 in field goals. Will pump that one up, and that one is through. It is a slogging effort by West Virginia, but they've got time. 27-17, Boston College on top.
All new ABC Wednesday.
Well, it's been all West Virginia in the second half, and it had to be. They trailed 24-7 at the half. But only a field goal on that last drive, Gary, and you felt like they may go for it on 4th down, but it was too far, and so they had to come out and kick the field goal.
Marshall at quarterback today, a career high for him in completions with 18, not in yardage game, but in completions. Do you onside kick here?
I'd be worried about it if I were Boston College.
They are not, as it'll be squibbed into the middle at the 25-yard line. 30, 35, look out here, up to the 50, 45, 40, big return, Brian Toll. Their defensive cornerback, Toll, celebrates a great return. Let's check in with John Saunders.
Gary, big upset brewing. Kansas against Texas. Brian Luke, good protection and a great pass to Mark Simmons. A couple of tackles are missed, and it's off to the races. Looks like he'll score, but he gets caught from behind at the 1-yard line. From there, Luke goes to Lionel Anderson for the touchdown. The Jayhawks lead by 10 with about 7 to go.
Good finish there, John. Good finish here. 10-point lead for Boston College. They've got the football. Peterson on the rollout, trying to scramble, gets rid of it. Completed at the line of scrimmage, and a gain after that as Kashida with a bad knee hauled it in, a 3-yard gain. Here's our Pac Life game summary.
Paul Peterson gets it started. First touchdown on the first drive, and that was set up on a big kickoff return and then a big punt return by Dewan Tribble, who almost tribbles on the 7-yard line before he scores. And Cachetta just sitting in the back of the end zone, and it was all BC in the first half.
Here's a 2nd down and 7. Ball carried straight up the middle and about a 3-yard gain. Sheer effort on that one. The punt and kickoff returns today for Boston College have been enormous. That was a 38-yard return on that last one. We've had one return for the touchdown you saw there by Tribble on a punt return. We've had 2 other big kick returns that have given Boston College field position. So they've made some big plays. BC, though, has had 3 3-and-outs in this half. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Big blitz coming. Peterson lobs it over the middle. He read it perfectly and a 1st down. Taken inside the 25-yard line. Cachetta again. 6'4", 200. That was Miller, rather. Chris Miller, big tight end. 6'5", 258-pounder.
And that's exactly what Paul Peterson was doing the entire first half, was finding the fullbacks and the tight ends. Anytime West Virginia decided to bring pressure, he was able to back up. He's very good in the pocket. He buys himself time. He's very athletic. And all through the first half, he was able to do it. That's the first time in the second half that he's been able to find an open guy.
1st down and 10. Run that one straight ahead to the 20-yard line. Whitworth has had a big day carrying the football and continues it here. He has earned himself a spot as a starter for the remainder of this season, and this is 3rd start of the year for the freshman. 14 carries and 77 yards.
And right now, Boston College is going to work the clock. I'd be surprised if Peterson snaps this with the play clock. Oh, it's probably going to be south of 10 seconds before he snaps it.
2nd down here. 2nd down and 6. Ball at the 20-yard line. Whitmore again on the carry and just gets that one up for a gain of 1. Want to remind you, time permitting, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report, scores and highlights from some important games around the country. Many of those scores you're taking a look at, and those games in progress, including that Texas game.
Well, and Paul Peterson has been looking at his tight ends and fullbacks the entire game. 11 of his 18 completions have been to bigger bodied players. If I'm West Virginia and I bring pressure, you better find Cachetta, the tight end, because on 3rd and medium, that's exactly who I think he's going to look at.
Clock down to 3 seconds on the play clock. They get it off. Big 3rd down and 5 from near side. That's going to get knocked down. West Virginia defense rising to the occasion. Jason Hardy, a senior.
Deflected by 95, Jason Hardy.
Nice job by Hardy. Peterson, not a tall guy, just barely 6 feet. They run a little stunt, and Hardy does a great job timing up and getting his hand. That was an end tackle stunt. Hardy, the tackle, comes outside and gets his hand up just in time.
So another field goal attempt here. 2 for 2 on the day. 1 of 44 and 1 of 47, both setting career marks, as Ryan Ollinger is on the field. A 36-yarder. Ollinger kick is up. He got into that one, and that one is good. And the freshman is 3 for 3. Important field goals as Boston College trying to make their way to a Big East championship. They lead it.
Can inspiration make the town and country even more amazing? Yes. Will it let you travel in luxury and style?
Gold. The kickoff will be taken back at the 4-yard line. That's Jones. Oh, that is a very big tackle. Did not get back to the 20-yard line. That is Peter Sheen, who's had great coverage today.
And 2 choices that West Virginia made in kicking the ball. This one to start the game, and Blackman comes up and gets a big return. Remember, Boston College took that good field position and scored 7 off of it. And then on the last kickoff, after West Virginia had to settle for a field goal, they squib it. And Brian Toll does his Greg Toll impersonation. Greg, his brother, was a fullback at Boston College. Brian, a true freshman, was a running back in high school last year. Picks it up, and Boston College answers that field goal to make it a 2-touchdown game again.
Toll's first return of the season. Now West Virginia's got to get it going again. Straight up the middle, maybe back to the line of scrimmage or not. Loss of a yard for the quarterback, Marshall. And again, Kiwanuka moved in to put the hit on.
Yeah. And I'm with these fans. They're really restless.
Yep.
I mean, you just listen. I know this is your base offense. This is what you've done all year. But at this point, you've got to let Rasheed Marshall air it out. Move the pocket, give him a run-pass option, get him near the sidelines in case he has to step out. But this needs to be hurry up and throw it every down.
30-17, Boston College with the lead. Marshall out of the shotgun, 2 receivers left side, looking to the flats, completed, but Boston College right there. There'll be a small gain with a ball at the 20. Henderson gets it for 3 yards and a little hit over there out of bounds. No flag on it. Here's our Pontiac Drive summary on that field goal picked up by Boston College.
And it really started with Brian Toll, the linebacker, doing a really nice job for a true freshman. Heads up, that started this drive by scooping up the squib and having a big return to West Virginia territory.
Little roll out to the near side. Big third down play here and nowhere to go. And the Boston College defense with their arms up, no gain. Tim Bowman, who has played a magnificent game for Boston College on the hit, and down is Rasheed Marshall.
Well, we started the game by saying it was best against best. The best offense in the Big East for West Virginia, as Marshall has to go back down and take a knee. It looks like he's working on his left. It's his left shoulder that took the shot as he's grabbing it.
Tim Bowman, who has been involved in innumerable tackles here today, in on another one. He, Ray Henderson, have been outstanding. Kiwanuka's been in on a number of hits, and Marshall's been under pressure all day.
Watch the left shoulder. It's a lot of weight. Oh, he got his left arm out. Yeah, he got his left arm out, and there's about 600 pounds of human beings on top of him.
Final home game, as he's one of the 22 seniors playing for West Virginia here today. And their hopes are running out of time for a successful conclusion to their home season. End of their season, for that matter.
Well, and we were talking about best versus best, the best O versus the best D. With 6:23 left in the fourth, the defensive line for Boston College really has been the story. We knew how active they were, but they have just played a really, really good game.
Got a punt it here. Brady back at his 15-yard line. Boston College will get the ball back. Ball will be taken at the 28. Blackman, who can scoot, takes the ball to the midfield. Another great return. This one only one man to beat. Blackman to the end zone. Boston College touchdown. An amazing display of kickoff and punt return excellence today by Boston College.
DeJuan Tribble, we just showed the highlights a few moments ago of the kickoff choices by West Virginia that they paid for. But there was a punt return earlier in the game by DeJuan Tribble that came after a personal foul where West Virginia had to re-kick it. It was a flat kick, and Tribble brings it back. This time, that was great blocking. Blackman finished it, but there was about 3 knockout blows by Boston College on that return.
And the extra point kick is going to be missed after the 71-yard return on that punt by Blackman, who takes it into the end zone with just over 6 minutes left to go in this game. Boston College, a stunner, 36-17. Well, there you see Rasheed Marshall, the starting quarterback for West Virginia, trying to see if he can take snaps over there on the far side.
And it looks like Charles Hales will come in. Injured it looks like he injured his elbow.
We'll see. We'll check in with the Dr. Jerry Punch down on the sideline here after we get the kick. Boston College up 36-17 as they look for a Big East title, their first win ever in the Big East, playing here in West Virginia. At stake, the winning streak on the line for West Virginia here at home. Ball up to the 15. Jones on the carry, and he will be taken down at the 24-yard line. And let's check in with Dr. Punch.
Guys, Rasheed Marshall took a hit on the ulnar nerve, otherwise known as the funny bone in the left elbow, and Ed Cunningham was exactly right. And what that causes is that tingling sensation when you hit your funny bone, causes some numbness and weakness down that arm into the 4th and 5th fingers. That's resolving. We should be back in the game here momentarily.
He's going to come back in. How about BC here in this half? They have scored 12 points. They have 31 yards of total offense.
Who needs offense?
Just score.
When you have a kicking game like they have.
Temple beat Syracuse 34-24.
And that plays out in the Big East because now that takes one team out of the mix. Temple gives Syracuse their second loss in conference.
And the fans really unhappy with this. A dive play for a loss of 2 yards. Nowhere to go for Williams up the middle. That's Pernell Williams on the carry.
Well, and let's see if we can't make sense for everyone of this Big East soup. This looks like it's going to be the first loss in conference for West Virginia. If they win at Pittsburgh in the backyard brawl on Thanksgiving night, chances are that they will still go to the BCS even if Boston College wins out, because being 10 spots ahead of Boston College right now in the BCS, if they're 5 spots ahead in the last BCS, they still will go as the Big East champion.
Marshall on the carry to the 30-yard line, driven out of bounds, very close to the first down. Looks like it'll be just a bit shy. An 11-yard gain on the carry for Marshall. Still flicking, you see that arm, trying to get the feeling back. If West Virginia loses, there you see what the numbers would be.
Right. And in the Big East Conference, even if both West Virginia and Boston College win out, Boston College has at Temple and at home against Syracuse to finish out the year. It then comes down to the final BCS. Even though Boston College won the head-to-head, if West Virginia finishes 5 spots ahead in the BCS, they get the Fiesta or Sugar Big.
That one over the middle is completed. Not enough, however, for the first down, believe it or not. Williams doesn't get anything as Ricky Brown moved in, the junior on the tackle, linebacker, coming across the middle. They didn't need a lot of yardage there. Now they got a 4th down. A 4th down and a yard to go to hang on to the football with 4:44 remaining. West Virginia has won 9 in a row here at home and 10 in a row in the Big East. Little snap carried for the first down up to the 45, 50 and into Boston College territory at the 45-yard line. Will Blackman, who had that touchdown you saw, moves in on the tackle, that time to Marshall. Tonight it's the incredible wizardry of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, starting at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Don't miss this amazing movie. It's on the Wonderful World of Disney, and that's tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on ABC. That one over the middle will be caught and held onto at the 36-yard line. Chris Henry has had a big second half and a big day, but for naught. Again, they try and hustle it up here with just over 4 minutes remaining to go. Henry has got one in the end zone here that got him back into this game here in the second half. Big rush put on, and Boston College will sack. Down goes the quarterback, Rasheed Marshall, and it was Kiwanuka again who moved in to put that hit on, the junior. You can see why they are so high on him.
Well, and the thing that Kiwanuka's been fighting is he's so tall at 6'7", he's had trouble putting weight on. He's up to almost 260 pounds, although I bet he's down a little bit as the season goes on. But the one thing I was impressed watching this young man on the coach's film, because you see so much more technique, he plays really low. And most guys that are 6'7" get their pads way high, and he doesn't. He has a good idea of leverage.
That one knocked down, an incomplete pass. Brian Toll moved in to knock that one down. Toll's had a day offensively, being able to carry one back on a punt, and also defensively in that backfield. The freshman, highly recruited across the nation, did not start the first few games, but he has been in now 5 consecutive as a starter. And even as a freshman, he's playing about every snap.
Well, that was the thing that Tom O'Brien, when we talked to him during the week, you know, everyone picked BC to finish second in the Big East behind West Virginia. And he said, you know, I don't think they realized how many freshmen we were going to have to play. There are 17 true and redshirt freshmen in there 2 deep, including their kickers.
Now Boston College is rubbing it in. Kiwanuka again put the hit on, another sack on Marshall. Kiwanuka had 6 sacks coming into this game. They will lose possession. Boston College gets it back, a 5-yard loss there. To illustrate, Boston College Eagles have the football, and now it's a matter of running 3:17 off the clock. 6-2 overall, 2-1 in the conference. They've got a 36-17 lead and a first down and 10 with the ball at their own 47-yard line, and a powerful performance by the Eagles here today. They just want to keep it on the ground and try and run it out. No gain, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Whitworth and Everett Lee have done an outstanding job in that backfield. Coming up, some more college football for you. Number 17, Miami, Virginia. Very big battle there. Wisconsin against Michigan State, trying to hang into the top 5. Texas Tech, Texas A&M, UCLA at Oregon, all coming up.
And it's worth reminding everyone what this game means. Boston College putting themselves at least in position to possibly go to the BCS in their last year in the Big East. If they win out and West Virginia goes and loses at Pitt, they will be the team that represents the Big East in either the Fiesta or Sugar Bowls.
Again, straight ahead on the carry. Whitworth, maybe a gain of 1. If they do not win that in the name of Boston College, where do they end up going?
Well, there's a couple of different scenarios because Notre Dame comes into the mix. Notre Dame has a weird little relationship with the Big East when it comes to bowls that they could actually end up, if they end up within 1 game of the second place team in the Big East, they can go to the Gator Bowl, and so things can get really hairy for Boston College if they don't go to the BCS.
They think it's a little hairy, don't they, Doc?
Well, they do, actually. I talked to Tom O'Brien during the pregame. We're walking on the field. He said, you know what? He said, if we win today, we still may not be able to go to the Gator Bowl if West Virginia beats Pittsburgh, because I think Notre Dame, having played Notre Dame up there, he said, although we beat them, he said, they're a very, very well-coached, very good football team. He said, I don't think people give them much of a shot to go out and play USC, but I think they will give USC a handful of football game, and they've got a shot to beat them. But if they do, then they'll probably go Gator Bowl, and we'll have to go somewhere else. But so Tom O'Brien, who's played the Irish, thinks they got a good shot against the Trojans.
I don't know, Doc, that sounds like coach speak to me. Sounds like the negative. Like the glass is half empty kind of talk to me. I don't know about Notre Dame on USC.
Be interesting to see where Boston College indeed does end up as far as the bowl picture is concerned. If they come away as they're going to with a victory here today against West Virginia, team 10 ahead of them in the rankings. BC 23, West Virginia 13. A 3rd down and 8. Boston College carrying the football in a gain of about 4 there. Again, LV Whitworth on the carry. They're 215-pound freshman. West Virginia is going to take their timeout here as it'll bring up a 4th down situation.
And Kiwanuka, we talked at the very beginning of the game that this guy is a difference maker. All 4 starters for Boston College, very active. This is the guy that literally and figuratively has the big name. And they're trying to do anything they can, but he just doesn't finish, and that's the key. Frank Spaziani, the defensive coordinator, says that it is such a treat to coach this defensive line because we don't have to beat their best performance out of them. They show up every day and work very hard.
And a great history. His grandfather was the first prime minister of Uganda, who was later slain after having been elected to that position. And he is very much aware of what went on regarding the Ugandan history and his grandfather and Idi Amin, who came in there and took over. Want to remind you here, we've got some Chevy players to tell you about, our Chevrolet players of the game. For Boston College, I don't know how they're going to divide this money up, but it all goes to one scholarship fund. It's the defensive line, and boy, have they earned it.
Yeah, Chris Henry had that great game, too.
The receiver on the other side for West Virginia, congratulations. In recognition of their effort, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Let's go $250 for Alvin Washington, $250 for Philip Metling, $250 for Tim Bowman. And do you think we can get an extra $1,000 for Kiwanuka?
I'm going to let you try. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll give Chevy a call.
Here's the kick. Boston College punting on 4th down. That will be down at about the 13-yard line. And let's see what's going on in other games. John.
Gary, we told you Texas was down to Kansas, but Vince Young has led them back 21 yards to Tony Jeffrey. Touchdown. And Texas now leads with Kansas only having 11 seconds remaining to try and get a touchdown. What a comeback in that one, led by Vince Young.
John, but Utah just can't catch a break, can they? All the Utah fans, trust me, there's a lot of people on the West Coast right now thinking the Utes have a shot to get in there.
That's why good teams are good. They can come back. Charles Hales has come in at quarterback now for West Virginia to try and wrap this up as Rasheed Marshall comes out of there up to the 20-yard line, and a little more than that is Pernell Williams on the carry. Williams on the carry, and they're just going to finish it out here with a backup quarterback Hales, 11-yard gain there. Hales is in his 9th game. He's played in a lot of games, just obviously not a lot of time.
He's played a lot of receiver, actually, this year. He's such a good athlete, they wanted to get the senior on the field.
6'1", 200-pounder. And that will be carried to the 26-yard line again. Williams driven out of bounds, a 2-yard gain, 1:54 and ticking left in the game.
And Hales has the best nickname on the team.
And that would be?
Chachi.
Chachi.
I wonder if it's because of his girlfriend's name, Joni.
If you can remember those TV shows, you can put all that together and you come up with Chachi. This will bring up a 2nd down and 9 as West Virginia's got the football. Near side flats, that one's going to be blocked. What a disappointing day for the Mountaineers. A sellout crowd that is all but virtually gone. Boston College came in here knowing what it was up against in both the crowd and the team they were playing against, and they started out scoring. They haven't stopped since. They kept the pressure on Rasheed Marshall, the senior quarterback who has been sacked and pressured throughout the game.
As Boston College has done all year long, they've just played great on defense, and it all starts up front. That's why we gave their front four the Chevrolet players of the game, because they've just completely dominated from start to finish.
3rd down and 9, passing situation, and another sack for Boston College.
14, Charles Hales, sacked on the play.
Nick Larkin getting a little playing time, moves in on that sack, and Hales finds out what has gone on at quarterback here while he's been watching today, with Marshall having taken a lot of those hits. 1:05 remaining to go. It is a 4th down and 12 now on the loss, and the officials making sure everybody gets on side here for the snap of the ball. So Boston College will hand the first Big East loss to West Virginia. They'll be 4-1 in Big East play. Boston College will go 3-1, and the Boston College Eagles, in their last season here in the Big East, will have their first Big East win in West Virginia to take away from it. A 4th down, long yardage. Hales, and lets it go. It'll be intercepted and taken down at the 33-yard line, and that's Ray Henderson. If anybody deserved to have an intercept put up, he deserves it.
Well, there was a lot of guys that are going to have fun watching film tomorrow, Henderson being one of them. The entire front, Brian Toll played very well at times for Frank Spaziani, and this Boston College staff has to be commended. They had their team loose. West Virginia came in. Rich Rodriguez said that he was very concerned with all the things riding on this game that his team may press and play nervous, and they did.
Yep.
And Boston College was just the opposite. They made play after play, especially in the return game, that really turned this thing around.
Their defense, where they live and die and have all season long, did a lot of living here today. They'll get the football back, and they just want to run the clock out, as Boston College has come away with a very impressive 36-17 win. Tom O'Brien's team on the road, the victory.
And it's been a very difficult 2 years for Tom O'Brien and his players. Of course, with Boston College now leaving the Big East, they've been taking a lot of verbal abuse on the road. This has to be a very sweet victory.
Very sweet for this team. There's the final 5 seconds coming up. And congratulations to Boston College for a fine road effort here in West Virginia, as they never look behind them in this game. Once again, our final score, 36-17. BC comes away the winner. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Search ABC Sports. For Ed Cunningham, Dr. Jerry Punch, and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for being with us, everybody. Stay tuned. Second half of our college football doubleheader is coming up. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports Championship TV from Mountaineer Land. So long, everybody.